Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. It's Puckett and Kelly Link here with the Chipotle Challenger Series for 2021. And Kelly, we're kicking today off with a $65,000 Fortnite event.
It is going to be absolutely insane. Not just some of the influencers that we have competing today, but we have some of the top names internationally that Fortnite has to offer.
You've been watching all kinds of Fortnite recently. I've been diving back in with Season 6, and today, well, I have a feeling we are going to see a lot of fun. Let's take a look at the format for this event and break down how everything is going to work, because if you joined us last year, you know every time I am live with the Chipotle Challenger Series, we are feeding the chat. But the tournament, very familiar. We are going to be seeing 50 teams dropping in 3 different times. Now, our top teams at the end of those 3 games, they're walking away with some serious prizing. We'll get to that. But Kelly, break down the scoring for us. This is Fortnite. It's a battle royale. How does the structure work tonight?
Well, you can see the scoring on the screen right now. 1 point per elimination. So eliminations are going to be kind of important, but first place is going to be walking away with 15 points. And then look at that point differential from first to second place. That's a 5-point difference, 3-point difference from second to third place. And then beyond that, from fourth all the way to 12th place, you do get a few points for placing. But beyond 12th, I mean, there are 50 teams that are going to be competing in this lobby. You're not going to be getting any placement points. So I'm sure that we're definitely going to be seeing some elimination, some placement, and all together, it's going to be probably a very competitive game today.
I want to see some of the familiar players pop off again. Let's take a look at the money they're playing for, and it's more than just cash, we should mention. Shout out to our friends at Logitech. They're coming in with some huge prize vouchers off of anything on their site. I'm talking keyboards, mice, webcams, whatever you need. Logitech and Astro have you covered. But Chipotle, if you're finishing in the top 4 here, Kelly, they are hooking you up with the greatest prize in all of esports, a year supplied entree. I'm talking burritos, burrito bowls. If you want a salad or a quesadilla, they're now on the menu.
I mean, to not just walk away with $15,000 in first place, but free Chipotle for a year, you can't put a price on that. Maybe you could if you really tried, but my goodness, what incredible pricing. And I mean, Puckett, it's not just the players that are competing today that are going to be winning. It's also chat that is going to have an opportunity to win some awesome things.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at some of the players in this event, because as we mentioned, there's some studs in here, and we should talk about the teams that came through the qualifier, because if you're looking at that leaderboard at the end of the night, I have a feeling at least one of these duos is going to be in our top 3. Let's start here with Diddy the Boy and Defying. They qualified in the very first qualifier with It's Pepper and Icy Fusion taking the number 1 spot. But after qualifying, they weren't done. They came back, won an additional $2,500. They got Astro A40s, and they are getting hooked up here as qualifier 3 champions as well. Definitely my team to watch coming out of the qualifiers.
I mean, you also have Zyke and Forts, who had a 45 elimination game during qualifier number 4. But you have to look, it's Miro and Avery, two of the best North American East players. They actually both placed top 10 in the recent Season 5, and now they're joined together as a duo, and this is a team to watch right now.
Miro and Avery, big names, and they are going up against some huge streamers. Let's take a look at our invited team list, because a lot of these familiar faces, pro gamers, top streamers, athletes, and more. We got Juju Smith-Schuster playing with my man Tim the Tapman. Nate Shots teaming up with Brooke AB. Of course, we've got Booga with Christian Pulisic from Chelsea, one of the top players from North America when it comes to soccer. And the man, the 2020 Male Player of the Year, Weston McKennie, is going to be joining EMAT. I'm so excited to see all of these duos tonight.
Oh, especially Aiden and Chad A30. You got Ronaldo and Blake. And then, of course, Mongrel and Mitro coming all the way from Europe, competing against everyone here. And don't think that ping is going to be an issue for these two players right here. They are going to also be a huge team, a huge force in this competition.
I gotta ask you, what are your expectations for Loser Fruit and Fresh? They got 10 million YouTube subs, all watching to see how they play tonight.
Oh, of course, everyone, if you know Fortnite, you know Loser Fruit and Fresh, so I'm really excited to see how they're going to be competing today, and more importantly, how they're going to be handling the Season 6 changes.
We've got a lot of money on the line. We've got a lot of prizes from Logitech, and of course, we've got a ton of giveaways to get to today. Let's tell you all how you can win in the chat. We've got not just food, we've got headsets, quesadillas, and A40s. Tonight's going to be special, Kelly.
Oh my, I mean, like I said, it's not just the players that are going to be winning, but chat as well, like you said, giving away some quesadillas. In fact, not just a few, thousands of quesadillas are going to be given away today, and as well as those nice headsets, which we are actually wearing right now, Puckett. And let me just say, comfortable, great audio quality. Look right there. All you have to do is type in exclamation Chipotle into chat when we tell you to, chat. I know how much you guys love to spam, but we'll let you know when those giveaways are going to be happening.
Kelly, can I let you in on something here?
What's that?
We're doing the first giveaway right now.
Oh.
Chat, are you ready to win a headset? Put this in the chat right now. Exclamation Chipotle. We're going to have our mods jumping in and out of chat throughout the night. If you win, check your whispers with all the information on how to collect the first prize of the night. We are coming in a big way tonight. 65 grand in prizes and, of course, money. Chipotle for a year on the line. All of it comes down to just 3 games. Keller, are you ready to get into some Fortnite? It's Season 6 time.
I'm super ready to get into this. I am so excited, and I can't wait to see if we're going to have any drop spot contention, what exactly is going to be happening, because as we know, there isn't just a meta in the season. Tournaments in themselves kind of develop their own meta.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about what we've seen, because Season 6 hasn't been out too long. It's been a little over a week, and already some major changes coming in, some patches already. But for anyone who hasn't played Fortnite in a bit, catch us up. What did we miss?
I mean, besides the patch that just happened recently, obviously Season 6 has added a huge new thing to Fortnite, and that is crafting. If you pick up a makeshift weapon, whether that's the AR, you have the shotgun, or the bow, which has been reintroduced, you can kind of craft that, whether you have bones or mechanical items, into a primal or mechanical version of that weapon. Also, from there, you can even craft more so into more something like, you got the fire bow, you have the explosive bow, shockwaves. There's a lot of crafting now added to Fortnite, which is definitely going to shake things up.
Okay, what's the best bow? Because I just want to use the shock bow and knock people off the map.
I personally am a big fan of the stink bow. I think anything that involves these cute little stinkfish, which you guys might call blobfish, but as we know, they are stinkfish, and there's kind of a cool little meta interesting that has been used with the stinkfish recently. I think that is going to definitely be a big factor today in the competition.
Okay, so we got stinkfish, we've got bows to look out for, we've got the crafting.
Of course.
Is the primal shotgun the scariest weapon in the game after the patch? Because I played this 3 days ago, and I felt like it was the only way I was dying.
It is still a little scary. They did nerf the fire rate from 2.7 to 2.3, but that still is maybe not enough just yet. It's still pretty scary.
Okay, primal shotguns, we're looking at that. Tell me a little bit about our key locations. What are the points of interest you're looking at? Where are the power drops, if any exist, only a week into this?
Oh, definitely. I mean, obviously, the meta coming from season 5 still is rotating around the NPCs right now. Grabbing those gold bars and being able to grab some really good items off of that is still very important. So, really, any drop spot that has those NPCs allows you to do quests and get those items for like really fast is definitely going to be a prime location. But for me, I'm definitely taking a look at Sweaty Sands, who has Saf and Zayt landing there, two of the most incredible players just in the world right now, but definitely North American East. We have to look there.
And of course, we have everyone playing on the East servers. I saw a few of these questions in the chat. Right now, the chat just says exclamation Chipotle, as it should. Reminder, we're giving away these brand new Astro A40s. You guys can get hooked up throughout the show. We just dropped the first headset, so put that exclamation Chipotle right now. Reminder, more quesadillas to come, but we're going in with 3 games here to determine who will be our first Chipotle Challenger Series champion as we're going into Fortnite. This time it's duos. Last time we saw trios. Kelly, as we're jumping into this first map, what should we look out for? What is different in duos versus trios, if anything, here in Season 6?
Definitely with trios, you have more of a diversity for role selection. You'll have the in-game leader, you'll have the support, and then you'll have the fragger. But with duos, obviously those roles are a little bit limited. They might both kind of step forward as the in-game leader, as the fragger. In fact, usually in duos competition, it's the synergy that you have to look for. So teams like Acorn and Jack, Saf and Zayt that have been competing for dozens and dozens of tournaments over the last year, if not more so, that really is where duos seem to stand forward, is the teams that have that synergy, that communication, and understanding who has what role.
And can I get the Kelly Link official prediction? We highlighted a few of the top teams competing in this thing. Who do you think is the most dangerous duo? The game hasn't kicked off yet, so I had to ask you before we get in there officially.
We got
who do you think is the scariest?
And Scented, of course, Zayt and Saf, who I just mentioned, and then of course Acorn and Jack, 4th place Season 5 North American East. I mean, there's so many incredible teams to look at. They just played in the Booga Cup and played out of this world, so maybe Acorn and Jack. That's who I'm going to give it to.
Acorn and Jack. Okay, that's our team that's actually ranked unofficially #1 on my sheet as well. But if you watched any of the Chipotle Challenger Series, I'm talking our October and our December events, Commandment and Scented were on the top 2 teams in both events. They finished 2nd place in the first one, banking $15K. Then they got first place with $30,000 in the second one. So they're a top 2 team throughout, and no one was really close to this crew when it came to picking up eliminations, not just the placing. So when it comes to this first game, I'm going with the returning champions here of the Chipotle Challenger Series, who can take down Commandment and Scented. If we can take a look, though, at the influencers, can I get some predictions here as we take a look at our 10 invited teams? We got a lot of huge names returning to Fortnite after a while. Who do you think could shock some of the people in the chat tonight, Kelly?
Well, if we do have that list of influencers pulled up, I don't think it's going to be much of a shock, but Mongrel and Mitro, I mean, they're obviously put into a bit of a hard spot right now because they're playing from Europe. Everyone else here is North American East and North American West, but we're not going to look at the influencers because we're going to look at them in the game right now,
I like
everyone.
that.
It looks like game #1 is ready to go right here, and taking a nice little look at the autumn spread that we have here. As you can see, the desert is now gone, and instead we have sort of this autumn like infestation sort of spreading out from that central spire.
This is going to be so fun. Fresh duos dropping in for the first time of the Chipotle Challenger Series, a brand new updated map. And we're going to be starting things off with Brooke AB and her duo Nade Shot. 100 Thieves showing up and already doing a little bit of bush hiding here in the cornfields.
Ooh, and you can see they have dropped down into Colossal Crops. And if you guys played in Season 5, you might be saying, well, isn't that Colossal Coliseum? Well, it's a bit changed right now. It is now called Colossal Crops, and it is one of the areas that has been infested by this fall spread. And a part of this is that there are spires kind of expanding from this central point. There's, I think, 6 spires that are now that you can go in there, grab an item, take that item all the way back to the central spire, and if you're able to put it into one of the locations, then you can get away with a new Spire jump boots. Incredible boots, but not seeing too much in competitive.
Yeah, I haven't seen too many people prioritizing the boots. Are they just too hard to get to? Why are people kind of shying away from that early on?
The last tournament that I casted, honestly, people just didn't see it as a priority. They might be good for early rotations, but once you get into that end game, once everyone is boxing up, they aren't really, they're actually a bit more of a risk than they are as a boon to you. So it's kind of a risk, but maybe being, this is a Chipotle tournament, we're having a bit of fun here. Maybe we'll see
Yep.
some teams go for it.
All right, as you can see on the mini map, there was another team close to them in Colossal Crops, but Nade Shot already on the way. Brooke in her Laura Croft suit making the way across the map as well. Tim the Tapman just fell to paper, though,
Oh, no.
as it looks like Tim is going to need a little bit of help from his teammates throughout this one.
I mean, Paper and Jamper, two incredible North American East players. They actually recently got 13th place in the most recent FNCS. So again, if you see them on the map, you are going to want to run away from them because they are an incredible team. Taking a quick look now at Mikey, and I do appreciate the branding. He's not just Mikey, he's Chipotle Mikey, teaming up with Woe Amar.
Chipotle Mikey getting ready for his quesadilla chat. We hope you are ready for some quesadilla drops. If you joined us last year, thousands upon thousands of burritos, and we are up in the game in 2021 with the brand new quesadilla officially on the menu. If you don't have the app, get it ready. You're going to need it a little bit later. It's available on Android and iOS. With that said, tell me a little about these players we're watching. We got Mikey and Omar here.
Yeah, taking a quick look at Woe, Omar, and Mikey. I know a lot of these pro players like to change their names a lot, so I don't know if that is Coach Omar that we're taking a quick look at, but I know, chat, you guys know everything about Fortnite, so maybe you guys can confirm for me if this is, in fact, Omar, Coach Omar in there. I'm not too certain, actually, who this team is.
Don't you love that? It's like, how often do you want to switch up your names? Every day? Cool, I'm down with it. I assume it's the right Omar, though. We're going to keep our eyes on him as right now it's just early loot game. And you mentioned the crafting. So tell me a little bit about where we want to get to. When we get to late game, end game, what do we want in the loadout?
Oh, well, you definitely have to have a shotgun. Once you make it to the end game, that's where you're going to have to be boxing up. And if you're not going in with a shotgun, then you're not going to be winning fights. Of course, we know that snipers have been taken out of the game, so stealing height is that much more difficult. But with the bows, there's a bit more utility added to the game, whether that's the fire bow that kind of acts as like the dragon shotgun that we saw last season, or even the shockwave bow, which works as something a bit defensive and offensively. You can use it to shoot yourself forward onto the rotation of the new zone, or you can use it to shoot enemies away. So honestly, it really depends on the playstyle. If you want utility, we're probably going to be seeing some of the better bows. But obviously, if it's going to be box fights, we're going to be seeing some shotguns, and definitely the primal shotgun.
And speaking of kind of playstyle, we're not going to see a whole lot of sniper actions. What's going on with the sniper rifle game? Is it really just assault rifles at this point if you're going to long-range fights?
Yeah, pretty. I mean, if you're good with the bow, if you're confident with it, not a lot of players are, but a lot of people that do feel like they can hit a few snipes with the bow can definitely go into it. But yeah, snipers now being taken out of the game have definitely affected the way that the meta has gone. It's still very high ground heavy for the end game, and now with snipers taken out, you have a harder time being able to snipe those teams that are on the high ground and being able to steal that away from them.
All right, looks like this team isn't going to really have much action early on. If we can keep bouncing around to a few of the other teams that have enemies nearby, that'd be fantastic. Let us know in the chat as well, who are you most excited to see throughout this tournament as we take a look at the team list. Aiden, definitely on my list. The man has been grinding out Warzone, making his return on the controller once again to Fortnite, playing alongside Chad today, I should say.
Commandment and Scented now taking a quick look at them. Had an incredible performance in the grand finals, of course. Walking away in second place. And it was actually Acorn and Jack, the reigning champs, teamed up with Slacks that got first place in the most recent FNCS.
And of course, Scented and Commandment returning as our Challenger Series champions. They were runners-up in the first event. Won the second event in December, banking some serious cash before the holidays. Now looking to start off the year with another $15K in their pocket. Reminder, that's what's up for grabs. First place, you're walking home with $15,000 and another year supply of burrito. These two already with 52 burritos coming their way each year.
That's a lot of burritos, but honestly, it's probably not enough.
How many burritos do you think you could take down in a week? Because I feel like on a good week, 6 easy.
Okay, so like you could do one a day, but then you need that break day.
I would actually probably double up on Saturday. You know, you need a little lunch, a little dinner burrito. Maybe take a Tuesday off. A midday recovery, you know, gotta.
Speaking of recovery right now, we got Commandment and Scented taking some shots on Zuni's team far off into the distance there. But it looks like they weren't able to really grab anything. Maybe just going for some Storm Surge tags right now, but just gonna go and farm up some more builds.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit slow here until we get a little bit closer when it comes to the circles. You can see, though, Weeping Woods becoming a bit of a hot spot on that mini-map. 5 teams in this area, and just constant chip damage coming in from Scented on the high ground with Commandment.
Taking a few shots right there. Onto Zuni's and Polarize. Eclipse now in chat, grabbing a few eliminations, one of them being Booga going down. The 2019 World Champ is out. Ronaldo also grabbing an elimination onto Cloud FN right there, as you can see in the elimination feed.
And it's great to see Booga back in action. Unfortunately, he's playing with Christian Pulisic from Chelsea. Both players are going to be wiped there by Eclipse. And we'll keep bouncing around throughout these maps here to the different observer feeds as things are kind of slow here in the woods. What do you feel about the loadout so far, though? How do you feel about the setup here for Commandment and Scented at this point in the game?
I don't know if Commandment is playing support or if he is just expecting the heal off that is going to be happening later on. But you can see he's definitely got some decent heals with those shields and, of course, the 2 med kits. But if you expect the heal off to happen in these 3 games, then you're definitely going to need some floppers, which I don't see Commandment having. But maybe Scented has some.
Checking every corner as they continue to loot up. We'll see the rotation into the circle as it's going to be 4 different teams out in front of them to the north. Ronaldo in the feed again is going to take down Pledge.
Ooh, just a
Not
nice,
a bad start.
Yeah, pretty good start right there. Commandment shooting off into the wilderness because, you know, those trees, they look quite menacing. You might as well take a few shots on them.
This team, they were so crazy. Illis, especially when he was on the lineup for the first tournament, was able to clutch up. I remember he had an 8 elimination game to put them on the map. Who is going to be the star between Scented and Commandment? We'll keep our eyes on that squad. This is a team that was getting popped at earlier. Polarized, trying to take the high ground here with Zuni's.
Polarized taking a few more shots right there. But instead he's going to box up. Play a bit more of that long-range game, but it looks like right now there's actually another team that's going to be trying to engage onto Polarize and Zuni's in their box, but Zuni's and Polarize have the high ground right now, so this is definitely a risky position for the enemy team.
Icy and Peppa in the feed. Another squad to keep your eye on throughout this matchup. Peppa, of course, playing with Icy Fusion in that first qualifier. Both players popped off there to lock in their spot in the Challenger Series final here from Chipotle.
Playing it slow and easy right now. This is definitely what you want to see. We said at the start of the game when we went through the point format that this is going to be a very placement-heavy tournament. And by that, you have to play smart. You don't want to enter engagements where you don't have the advantage right now, and you want to try and make it to the end game. And we're just in zone 2 right now, so we're definitely going to be seeing more passive play styles in the next few minutes.
Cautious play, safe play, the placement's so important. How would you value this if you were competing, Kelly? Would you go for 5 eliminations, 0 eliminations in the first place placement? What would be the strategy going into duos?
I'm probably going to try and grab a few tags in the early game to not have to deal with Storm Surge. Once you make it to about zone 5, 6, that's when you're going to try and find either, if you can take height, that is the best position that you can be in. Height wins games, but the low ground wins tournaments. Eliminations are not as important. They're 1 point each. So I don't know if we're definitely going to be seeing some early aggression like we're not right now. For me, play passively, maybe get a few tags like we're seeing Zuni's and Polarized. They're not going for those eliminations. They're just trying to get a few shots onto the enemy opponents so that they don't get that Storm Surge.
Just taking a look at chat. Looks like everyone's still trying to win that headset with the exclamation Chipotle.
Of course.
Spoiler, we've already awarded the first headset. Spoiler. But we will be giving away more gear throughout the show. Shout out to Logitech, who is ponying up some serious prizes for our top 10 competitors. And of course, for everyone watching, we'll be giving away some goods throughout the show. This is just our first drop of the night, and you can see when it comes to height, Tabs is feeling pretty good up there with Skittles. A lot of teams like Ronaldo and Blake starting to get close to guys like Miro and Avery, and that's a showdown I would love to see if it comes down to some box fighting.
Oh my gosh, look how close they are. Ronaldo slowly creeping up with Blake, Miro, and Averly, definitely aware of it. But now we're going to be looking at Scented and Commandment, taking a few shots, getting shot on. Actually, it looks like they're kind of having enemy teams on either side of them, so they're definitely going to have to box up right here. He's going to throw some shields down potentially and to reset themselves, to put themselves in a better position. Ooh, good shots coming out of Scented right there and Commandment, but they weren't able to grab the elimination just yet.
Man, playing this one so safe. They see the car. Commandment wants to pop, but doesn't want to overextend, knowing that they have pressure to their northeast.
Taking a few more shots again. Scented, not necessarily looking for an elimination, but they know that Storm Surge could be there around the corner, so they do have to try and get at least a little bit of damage in. But with the third zone coming around and 65 players remaining, we're not going to have to deal with Storm Surge just yet, but now we're seeing Commandment and Scented rotating over into that new zone, and it looks like they're just going to grab some resources along the way.
Shout out to the 21,000 homies hanging out with us here on twitch.tv/Chipotle here for the Challenger Series. If you're enjoying the show, let us know which team do you want to see across these 3 games. We'll be trying to show you as many perspectives as we can. Jack, I just saw, was in the kill feed again. So Jack's staying on the move with Acorns, and it looks like right now Cease, he's sitting there at half health after regaining all of his shields. Has to hole up for a moment. It's going to be Tabs and Skittles from the high ground, constantly peppering them. And now you can see 5 more squads all starting to edge into the middle of the zone. Everyone starting to posture up here as we're going into the mid-late game.
That third zone closing in. Skittles and Tabs grabbing some decent height right now. It's still pretty early, though. Are they going to be able to hold on to this height as it moves on into the 4th zone? We're not too certain just yet. But again, a little bit of a lull in the action. He's taking a quick look over there to Zyzak, one of the qualifying winners, as well as Forts. Miro and Avery also in shot. I believe they won qualifier number 2 there. And of course, FNCS veterans, competitive players for a very long time.
Pape and Jamper were able to pick up a few eliminations earlier. Keep your eyes on that squad. This is definitely going to be one of my teams to watch. They came in with the name Pamper is their official duo name for this tournament.
Yeah, that's about right. Ooh, taking a look at a new team now. We got Zicky and Edge, and although we were taking a quick look at Zicky right there, he had a harpoon gun, a very important gun, especially with what they're doing, which is taking height right now. Of course, once you have height, it's quite hard to drop down into the mid and low ground without being in risk of getting eliminated. So by having the harpoon gun there, they're able to kind of shoot down onto the mid and low ground where those eliminations are taking place and grab those items that are dropped. So I love to see the harpoon gun right there. In fact, Zicky has a pretty decent loadout right now. We got the blue AR, we got a decent shotgun, and of course shields and heals.
And you see in the top left, we were watching Commandment and Senate earlier. Well, Commandment earlier, he picked off Zypha. There he just finishes Eclipse. So Zypha and Eclipse have been eliminated here in the first game. That was one of the tougher challengers for Scented and Commandment. Now you can see they're closing in here on Domsky.
Ooh.
And I gotta get your thoughts here, Kelly. Do you take this fight at this point if you're Scented in Commandment, or do you just let your opponent survive here as everyone is inching in to our 4th zone?
Well, you can see exactly what they just did right there. They let them survive. Commandment and Scented already had some good eliminations early on, so they're probably not going to be looking for more early engagements. They are pretty confident going into this mid and late game, so they're probably going to be playing it a little bit passively, probably even playing edge of zone right now. But now taking a quick look at Peppa and Fusion, both with elimination each, and it looks like they are going to be closing in on another team.
Yeah, Pepper was the driver. They just rolled up on those two players we were describing, and now they're going to just hold up for a moment, spam at another fight, trying to third party this. And Fusion got some quality shots down. They had them in white.
And there you see it, the Storm Surge warning. You can't see it, unfortunately, who is going to have Storm Surge, but that does mean that there are going to be a few players, I think 3 players right now. They're going to have to do whatever they can to grab a few damage, or to try and grab as much damage as they can, because if they are stuck in that Storm Surge, that is going to be a lightning bolt hitting them every 10 seconds, and you definitely don't want to deal with that.
There's Acorns and Jack. We talked about them earlier. There they are at the top center of the entire structure. At the bottom, though, look at Versace and Revise going back and forth. Cam is going to get dropped down to real low health as Stretches on the other side of the wall. Everyone pinching in at the low ground. Here's a look at Temple B trying to survive with Versace. They are in trouble.
Yes, they are indeed. They're not doing too bad just yet. But it looks like they're going to stick together. Jay and Temple doing a good job rotating out of this box right now. Also following along with the zone, but they're on the edge of zone right now, just barely. So they're going to be able to take a moment to breathe right here and recollect themselves.
All right, able to heal up as well. Nice job. Recompose. Now they're starting to push, though. And can they escape? We talked a little bit about the stink. Here's our first sample of it live on broadcast.
There you have it. And look at them trying to stay away from it, trying to do whatever they can to not touch that stinkfish that was just right there. Now moving on to Acorn and Jack, who are still doing a pretty good job holding height right now. Now with it being zone 5, half in, half out, they're going to be rotating over there and doing a really good job rotating and still holding height. No one's really even taking shots on them. They're kind of staying ahead of the pack right now, and now taking a good view onto Peterbot over there. Probably going to go in for the engagement and hope to grab height here as well.
They coming for you, Pete. Watch yourself. Jack just sitting on the 1 elimination. Acorn had a lot of shots in, but didn't quite finish off his. So just 1 pick so far for the team, but really they're looking for that 15-point bonus if you make it to the end. Here it is, the craziness is Liquid, Stretch, and Edgy, a squad that we looked at over and over again throughout Challenger Series number 2. What are they doing here in 2021? They could be on the other side of this wall here in a little bit. For now, we're keeping our eyes on the team with height.
Yeah, doing a good job staying ahead of rotations right now. They're looking at Acorn and Jock, who are kind of stuck in the mid-ground right now. Doing a good job, though, playing it a bit passively, waiting for an engagement to happen in their favor. But you can hear the shots going on. There is so much action. You can see all of the enemy names around the screen. They are surrounded right now, but they are still playing it so smart, slow, passively. That's what they need to do right now. Oof, and look at that zone all the way off the screen. Actually, no one is in favor right now for the rotation, but I'm sure we're going to be seeing some east side rotations going on, because that is a rough zone right there. I'm sure we're going to be seeing this player base drop down drastically.
All right, Polarized on the move right now. All alone, Zuni's trying to cover fire here with the AR. And we're going to see underneath all kinds of movement as everyone's starting to rotate. Look at that mini map. They are stacked all over. Who is going to be in the mix first? It looks like our team's at the top, not taking any damage. No one is even shooting at their structures here, Kelly. You got to feel good for Polarized.
Yeah, they're doing a good job right now. Look at this rotation onto the height. They're doing a good job just rotating over Polarized and Zuni's. Ooh, good job dropping down that team that had height right there. I'm not certain who it was, but they were able to take down one of those builds, and now they're going to be challenging them. It's 6 zone. They know that they have to have the high ground if they want to have that easy advantage into the end game.
Oh, and you're feeling good with a big ol' pump, ready to rock. I just want to see the shotty to the head. Just finish him off. Let's get down in there, Polarized. Now it's go time. On the move, hunting two.
In the elimination
Commandment
feed.
again there. D-roller out of it. Reg on Krex is going to answer on Zykic.
We only have 26 players remaining right now. Tabs is able to take down Duke as well. 16 teams remaining, and this is where we're going to start seeing the placement points, everyone. This is where you want to be if you're going to be making it into the end game. Peterbot taking down Edgy, Scented and Commandment, doing a good job staying ahead of the rotating zone right there. Of course, Ghost Blake now doing an incredible job pulling up height with Commandment and Scented, although leading the rotation. It is not, Ronaldo is the one that has height.
Ronaldo and Blake at the very top. At the very bottom, it's Commandment and Scented, two of our returning champions here in the final 10 teams. Final 15, I should say. As we take a look, this is Ronaldo and Blake at high ground, and right now Blake already sitting on 2, Ronaldo with 4. I think this is the most eliminations we've seen out of any team, currently at 6.
Yes, 6 eliminations between the two of them, doing a good job holding height, taking shots down onto the low ground as well, just breaking down those builds before they're able to move into the zone safely. They're doing an incredible job right now. Illis taking down Pepper, Acorn taking down Fusion, Ronaldo getting another elimination as well, moving up to 5 elims.
It's time. Ronaldo and Blake sitting at the top of the heap. 5 teams below them. And they are just spamming their way to victory. Blake, another one added to the pile as they pick up the elimination on Domsky. That's officially going to Ronaldo here. 8 eliminations, and they're still going for the #1 spot. This would be a huge start to their tournament.
Oh, without a doubt, that Victory Royale is going to get them 15 points. And as you can see, eliminations being 1 point each, well, they already have 8 points, but Ronaldo and Blake aren't done just yet. They have 3 more enemies that they're going to be taking down. They're dropping down. The zone isn't even really causing them any stress, so they're just going to take these free shots onto the low and mid ground.
Just taking their time, rotating with the storm until
Ooh, Scented
the
takes
right
down
moment.
Slacks.
Here it comes.
It is now a 2v2. Commandment Scented on the low ground, taking some shots onto Ronaldo's team on the high ground, but Commandment and Scented are playing so smart right now. Ronaldo slowly dropping down with Blake. Are they going to be able to take down Commandment and Scented, though? Scented and Commandment.
One team's going to finish with either 10 or 8. The other, looking at 8 or 6. Commandment and Scented, will they be able to get it done from below? The returning champs from last year in the final 2 of our first matchup here on the night. Love to see it. Ronaldo's going for the drop. Command with some nice builds, trying to get the minis up, but no, the pressure from above is too much. It's Ronaldo and Blake walking away with a 10 elimination game, as well as the 15-point bonus in our first drop of the night.
25 points earned in game #1 for none other than NRG's Ronaldo and Ghost Blake. An incredible performance right there, but of course Commandment and Scented holding the low ground, grabbing a ton of eliminations as well. An incredible performance from both teams.
That was awesome to watch. You could see kind of going into the final circle when it was on the move. It was Scented and Commandment at the low ground. Ronaldo, he went for the high ground at the very end. They were able to walk away with that first place victory. The Victory Royale on top of so many eliminations. Are these the favorites now? We got our sample in Season 6. Are these the favorites? Is that a impressive enough score in our first map to assume they're going to finish in our top 10 at the end of the night, Kelly?
Well, we definitely have to take a quick look at our leaderboards when that is ready to go. But without a doubt, I mean, an incredible performance from both of these teams. Not just the placement points that they got, but also incredible eliminations as well. And it's a classic in-game style there. You had high ground versus low ground, and typically it does go to high ground, and that's exactly what we saw just there.
We saw some bows coming into the end, taking some ceilings out. At the end of the day, though, it got all up close and personal as Ronaldo hit the ground. They were able to finish off the kills. We're compiling all of the stats, and we have so many giveaways as well. Get your chips, get your guac ready. It's time for chips and clips as we take a look. This is how it all stacked up. We had about 20 teams going in to the end. Illest in the mix, one of our returning champions. So was Ronaldo playing with Blake this time around in the duos tournament. And then on the other side, of course, our other favorites was Scented and Commandment, the duo we were watching earlier in the game. Kelly, walk us through these final moments, though. How did they pull off the W?
I mean, look at this. Commandment and Scented, they clearly had low ground with Blake and Ronaldo holding high ground there. So everyone in the mid ground was just stuck between these two powerhouses. That's why both teams were able to walk away with so many elimination points. But an incredible performance from them. A lot of times you'll hear a lot of these casters or analysts say that high grounds win games, but low ground win tournaments. But with Season 6, it definitely seems like high ground is winning tournaments as well. But actually a little surprised to see it didn't come down to a heel-off.
Yeah, it was nice to see it get down, and some shots were fired at the very end. We had another high elimination game, and this is exactly what I expect to see from Commandment and Scented every time. Could have gone either way at the end. Some nice shots in the final finish there coming in from Ronaldo will seal the deal as we get our numbers ready for the first game. Taking a look at a few of the other duos throughout this one, I want to see, where did Nadeshot and Brooke AB finish? Of course, where did Tim the Tapman finish? Were they able to get an elimination before the picks came in? Booga went down early with Christian Pulisic as well. So out of our 10 invited squads, who finishes at the top of that heap? When you took a look across the board here, Kelly, we saw a lot of impressive names after taking a look at game number 1. Who is on your hit list? Who's on the watch list going into games 2 and 3?
Well, how could you not say Commandment and Scented in that sense right there? I mean, obviously, Ronaldo and Blake had an incredible performance as well. But, I mean, they just played out of their mind right there, grabbed so many eliminations. So between these two teams, you obviously have to look to them going into game number 2.
It's going to be fun to watch all of these squads. Reminder, we are going to be checking in with all of your favorites throughout the tournament. Let us know in the chat, who do you want to keep eyes on? I saw a lot of people asking for C's just a little bit earlier. We are going to take a look here at our final scores from game number 1, and we have so many things to give away. For anyone just joining the stream, what is up for grabs for hanging out in the chat tonight?
Well, first of all, these incredible headsets that we're wearing right now, chat, we're going to be giving these away during our 3 games. But of course, we're also giving away some delicious quesadillas.
Delicious quesadillas. If you didn't know it, it used to be on a secret menu. Now it's on the real menu. It's a quesadilla from Chipotle. Check it out.
The new handcrafted quesadilla at Chipotle. It's a whole new way to adobo chicken, a whole new way to guac, and a whole new way to order. Because it's only in the app or online. The new quesadilla. It's a whole new way to Chipotle.
It's time. It's the first drop of the Dias of the night. If you want your own quesadilla, all you got to do, text Craggy 451 to 888-222. Kelly, we're giving out thousands of these babies right now.
Literally thousands, actually. I think 2,500 are going to be given away right now. And everyone, I'm chewing onto them. I'm taking a nice bite. It is quite delicious. Definitely make sure that you text this code Craggy451 in inspiration of Craggy clips to that number on the screen in case you want to try out one of these delicious quesadillas.
One of these delicious quesadillas could be in your mouth tonight. Craggy 451 to 888-222. Get your text in right now. Get your codes and get yourself on the Chipotle app to get your order in. We got to take a look back at what went down in our first game of the night. Remember, 3 games, top 10 scorers are earning some serious prizes this evening. And Ronaldo and Blake, they are celebrating the 10 eliminations plus the 15-point bonus, sitting pretty in first at 25. Right behind them, though, Commandment and Scented at 16. How do you feel about our top 4 so far?
I mean, you saw how incredible Ronaldo and Blake played that game. They had height. They held on to it from zone 7 on. Commandment and Scented, though, they said, you know what? If you're going to take the high ground, I'm going to take the low ground, and I'm going to grab a few eliminations before the game is over. But obviously, you have to give shout-outs to Peppa and Fusion in third, tied with third as well. It's Peterbot and Revised.
There we go. 11 points is good enough for top 4. It's all about finishing in that top 4 because that's where you finish with a year's supply of entrees from Chipotle, now including the quesadilla, which we just dropped off 2,500 of. Kelly, it's been fun, but that's just our first game in the books, and we have 2 more games to get to. We're going to commercial break. When we come back, we're talking with one of our competitors, as well as CEO of 100 Thieves. Nadeshot will be joining the show. You don't want to miss it.
When you're ready for Chipotle, the Chipotle app is ready for you. Get all your favorites, fast, fresh, and with unlimited customization, so it's made exactly how you like it. With the Chipotle app, real food is ready. Order now for contactless carryout or delivery.
Grill's the heart of the kitchen. Grill's the heart of the kitchen. It's where the magic happens. This is where we're making the food. It all comes together here. We season it, we grill it, and it tastes great. That's my favorite part, laying it down. Listen to that sizzle.
We're back. It's Pucking with a little extra. This time we're talking with Nate Shot from 100 Thieves. We got the CEO turned pro Fortnite player on the day. My man, Matt, how are you feeling, buddy?
Well, I'm feeling okay. You know, last game, me and Brooke, we killed 2 dinosaurs. Feeling pretty good about that. You know, next game, we're definitely looking to actually take out real players. That's the next step up. And we'll see how that goes when we cross that bridge.
So tell me about this dynamic duo, you and Brooke AB. So what are the roles on the team? Is she taking care of the short range business and you're the builder for the squad? How's this working tonight, Matt?
It's a whole lot of panic, a lot of franticness. You know, I'm not sure if we've really solidified. I actually don't want to share my strategy on stream because I feel like then all the players, you know, will be the first target because we're going to be in that last circle towards the end of the game, this next game. But yeah, we're just trying to farm some mats, stay alive, have each other's backs, and keep some secrets between us.
Yeah. Keep those secrets to you. Maybe the eliminations to you as well. We're going to see if you guys can pick a few more up. Tell me about Chipotle, though, because tonight, 4 teams are getting hooked up with a year's supply. What is the Nade Shot go-to order? I have to ask.
I actually just ate it right before I got on stream. It's a burrito, brown rice, double steak, cheese, medium green salsa, and lettuce. And then you get chips with a side of the medium green salsa. And then if you go to the store, you get a Coca-Cola. I mean, that's life. That's living. If you get that order from Chipotle, I will guarantee you are better than Tim the Tatman in every video game that's ever existed.
Speaking of Tim the Tatman, I saw you were trying to catch up on the tattoo game. I've been up in my game a little bit here. Can you give us an update on your tattoos? What's been going on? I saw the mob threw out a little gauntlet there that you gladly accepted.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Chris. Appreciate you reminding everybody. Listen, I don't know if you guys know, but getting a hold of a tattoo artist is like trying to crack the secret to life. I mean, they do not communicate well. So I'm trying to find the right artist to get in touch with me. I will be getting the Sex is Temporary, Gaming is Forever tattoo. I'm going to be a man of my word. It's just going to take some time.
We're all excited for you. All right, final question before you go. I got to give some love here to Chipotle. They hooked me up. We did the Gamers Outreach Tournament, and they helped me raise $11,500 for gaming carts. They provided a bucket cart here to New York City Hospital. I heard they're hooking you up with a gaming cart. What are you and Chipotle doing? Where is it going to go?
Well, we haven't decided. Obviously, LA is ingrained in our roots here with our LA Thieves Call of Duty team. So definitely looking to take care of one of the hospitals. Every single year, we do a fundraiser for the Gamers Outreach. This past year, in November, we raised over $100,000 thanks to our amazing community, and that's going to build a whole lot of carts. So we're just going to continue to building on this initiative with the Gamers Outreach, bring video games to kids that are dealing with long-term treatment in hospitals. And if you guys haven't been a part of that mission, I promise you should become a part of it. Try to find any dollar amount to donate because these kids that are in these hospitals, we can't even fathom. I'm lucky enough to have never understood what it means to be in a hospital in that position. But I can't imagine how much video games actually can bring some joy and some normalcy to their lives. So it's very important. If you guys watch the Courage and Nade Shot Show, we're always talking about the Gamers Outreach Foundation, but it makes me feel so warm and special that Chipotle is partnering with them to continue to bring awareness around this great cause.
We're hooking up kids. We're going through a tough time and their families. Thank you, Chipotle, and thank you, Nade Shot, for joining us for a little bit of extra. This was Guac Talk. Best of luck, Matt. You got 2 more drops. How many limbs are we going to finish with tonight?
It doesn't matter. As long as I take out Tim the Tatman, then my mission is complete.
Done. Beat Tim. That is the plan. And best of luck with finding your tattoo artist. That was Nade Shot. Thank you so much for joining us. You can catch him in game in just a little bit. For now, we got to welcome back in Kelly Link as we take a look at our official standings. Nade Shot and Brooke AB not in our top 10 yet, but it only takes 7 points to get there. So, Kelly, as we take a look at this, again, serious points given if you finish in the top 4 of placements. But you could also score with some simple eliminations as we go through these last 2 remaining drops. Yes. We're getting Kelly back up here in a moment. As you can see, Scented and Commandment 2nd place. Air Monk coming in at 11th, and that's Illest and Slacks, one of our returning champs from our first year in 2020. Illest back again representing in Fortnite. We got Dom and Suscript coming in at 5th. We got Jack and Acorns there at the number 6 spot. Some console kids, and of course Polarized and Zuni. You saw them on stream earlier. Hamper, though, that's Jamper and Paper, the duo, running wild when it comes to Olymps. Didn't finish as deep into that one as they wanted. Will they be able to make it into our final 3 squads here in the second drop? That is the question for me. That's my team to watch. Let me know in the chat. Who do you guys have eyes on as we get into this? We got 2 more drops to go. 2 more games. $65,000, and most importantly, you got to finish in the top 4 if you want the year supply of burritos. Kelly Link, as you take a look at that top 10 list, anyone that you see 5 to 10 that you got eyes on going in here to game 2?
We talked about it at the start of this show. Acorn and Jack, winners of North American East Season 5. They have been teammates for so long. In fact, recently in the Booga Cup, as recent as yesterday, they walked away in 2nd place right there. So, you know, although they only have 9 points compared to the 25 points that Ron and Blake has, that definitely is a team that I'm going to be looking at. We also got to look at Polaroid and Zuni's a lot in game number 1, and they're currently sitting in our 8th place spot.
I love it. I love it. Everyone's still in the running. Gotta feel good, though, if you're stable. Ronaldo and Blake sitting at the top spot with 25 points, 10 eliminations, number 1 spot. That's the way to start a tournament. No one has been able to reach into double digits outside of that lineup. The question for me now is, who's going to up their game? Who's hitting that W key and picking up the aggro frags? We're ready to go into the game here in just a moment here, Kelly. Go ahead.
I actually feel like that was the headset drop that is ready to go. I know that you're excited for the game ready to go, but I know that chat, you guys want to win. Look at this. Oh, it's so beautiful. So high quality. You guys want to win one of these sweet headsets. You guys can see we have one of these. Yeah, you can take the panels off, of course. Maybe you want to mix them up a little bit. I believe I had 3 different options to choose from. This is what I chose, though, and I really do like the headsets. I feel like they're very anime looking. I'm a big fan of anime, and this right here kind of screams anime to me.
I like that a lot. I like that you keep the headset on in case you want to talk in game and then mute your broadcast stream here. You're just fully loaded, ready to rock with the 840s. I need to find the one that has the hole so I can put my headset back on. I feel a little naked without it.
I got it. I got the one with the hole. Bam, Ooh. There you go. The headset is ready to go, although I am using this nice mic right now. If you do want to use the headset here, well, you guys can. This is an Astro A40. It is an incredible headset for listening to nice music, but of course, we're here for gaming. This is an incredible gaming headset as well.
Oh my goodness. How did chat guess what they were supposed to type? I will
smart.
Never guess. They're so smart.
Chat's
so
always
beautiful.
Right.
And about to be so full. We are feeding you today here on the Chipotle Challenger Series, and we are hooking you up with some of the best gaming gear thanks to our friends at Logitech and Chipotle. All you got to do, put in that exclamation Chipotle in the chat right now for your chance to win something worth over $240. It's the Astro 840s.
Whoa.
Kelly, I love these things, and I'm so happy that Chipotle is hooking people up. We're giving away gaming cards. We're giving away quesadillas. We're giving away headsets. We're giving away big money.
I want to be candid with you. When I first put them on, I'm like, oh, I don't know. Maybe this is one of the, like, that's going to be one of the gaming headsets that, like, it kind of, like, squeezes on your head. You get a headache. I've been wearing these for 4 hours now. Super comfy. Not feeling anything whatsoever. I'm actually, like, I'm being genuine with you right now, chat. These are very comfortable, and that is a important factor for me when it comes to a gaming headset.
And what I love is Astro is probably one of the first sponsors. It was like Red Bull and Astro in 2006 and 2008 coming on and supporting the earliest gamers here in North America. They're still around.
I still remember also Schlick, I think Razors was also like a first sponsor, one of those non-endemic sponsors for gaming. I think it was MLG 2009 that I remember seeing razor blades being sold as a esports, item. It was interesting.
I'll trade in razors for burritos any day. Well done here, Chipotle. Welcome into the scene. It was only a matter of time. And I love to see that they're still partnering with Logitech. Reminder, if you don't have any Logitech gear, they make amazing stuff. I'm talking wireless or wired mice. You got your keyboards, you got your mouse pad, which is supercharging your mouse. You got headphones. They got it all.
You missed the most important one. Webcam. I have been using a Logitech webcam for the last 9 years, and let me just say, the same webcam. Look at the quality of this webcam that literally came out in 2012 that I am still using right now. Shout outs to Logitech. I see your beautiful logo right there every morning that I stare at my webcam. Big fan, and I'm not even getting paid to say that. I really do promote the Logitech C920 as an incredible webcam for streaming.
All of our players between 5th and 10th place are getting hooked up with Logitech gear, up to $2,500 of it. And we already gave away $1,500 worth of Logitech gear to all of our qualifier champions from qualifier 1, 2, 3, and 4. With all that said, though, game number 2 is just about ready. Enough, Phil. Enough of our pretty faces. It's time to see some primal shotguns. I'm ready to get rowdy as we're dropping back in. Kelly Link, once again, we're watching Fortnite. This is Season 6. We're on a brand new map for Chapter 2 for anyone who's been under a rock for the last year. And Season 6 has brought in all kinds of changes, with the one most notably being crafting, in my opinion. Did you see enough crafting in Map 1, or are you expecting to see more here in Game 2?
We saw a few bows, but I feel like we could definitely see some more crafting. As you already said, the Primal Shotgun, even though it literally got nerfed yesterday, it's still very, 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 very strong. But hopping into game number 2 right now, of course, taking a look at Ronaldo and Blake, the winners from game number 1, slowly taking a beautiful view of Coral Castle, but they're not going to be landing there. No, they're just going to be landing a little bit north right now, uncontested, of course, because who would want to go up against Ron and Blake in this game?
Yeah, they set up with 3 eliminations before that 6th circle, and then they popped off in the final 2. So tell me a little bit about the strategy that you're seeing early on. Where are we landing? Where do you rotate from if you're Ronaldo and Blake at this point?
Well, they have landed north of Coral Castle right now, and it looks like they're going to have to deal with Pledge and Cloud if they're going to want to rotate south right there. My dog in the background, very excited. I believe she is actually a Ronaldo and Blake fan.
Of
so
course.
If you guys hear her barking in the background, that's just because she is so excited to be able to watch them in our drop spot right now. But honestly, they're uncontested right now. The teams that are kind of near them in Stealthy Stronghold and Coral Castle aren't too big of threats, so they're kind of just sitting pretty and easy right now. They're going to get free farm on this island right here, and then probably an easy rotation as well.
All right, Blake is just putting in his Chipotle order. Reminder, if you didn't get that first drop, don't worry. We have more quesadillas on the way, and if you can't wait for the next code, you can order yours right now. $1 delivery using the Chipotle app on your cell phone. Do it right now. Contactless delivery. You'll love to see it here in 2021. We're going to keep jumping around. We showed you the number 1 team. Here's number 2, sitting at 16 points after our first drop. It's Scented and Commandment, champions of our December event for the Fortnite Trios.
And look at them over in Caddy Corner right now. An incredible POI right there. I believe it was either Season 3 or Season 4 where everyone was trying to land on Caddy Corner because of that Caddy launcher. Although that's not in the game anymore, it is still a great POI. And just looking at the drop spot map that we have right now, they do have some teams that are really good. They have Symmetrical and Tavern nearby. Slick and Elige, of course, representing Mexico. And Wavy Jacob and Dog as well. And actually, we're going to be taking a quick look at Dubs and Mega.
Dubs and Mega, good to see this duo back together. And there are 2 more teams around them as they get the first pick on Walk.
Ooh, oh man, and if only they took that shot right there, they would have had a great shot onto Juz right there. but closing in ever so slowly. Are they able to take down this team? And it looks like they are able to do just that. Dubs taking down Jusky in a good fashion over here in Boney Burbs, one of the new POIs in Season 6.
Yeah, Boney Burbs basically Tilted, right? It doesn't seem as populated as Tilted was. Just one other team there at the moment. We will get back to it a little bit later. From now, let's keep it rolling. This is going to be Cloud working with Pledge. We got the taxi moving on in. And you can see Mongrel just fell in the kill feed. For everyone wanting to watch Mongrel in this event, he's having a little bit of a slow start here. Not a high score in game 1, already out currently here in game 2.
Didn't see Mitro go down, so we still have Mitro in the competition. And honestly, even though they're playing over in Europe and they have to deal with the ping, Mitro can definitely hold this as a solo run. So they're not out just yet. As a reminder, for placement points, you only need one player of your team to be able to make it all the way to there. So Mitro probably going to be playing a little passively, but oh my gosh, Tim the Tatman taken down by Suscript. Nate Hill also taking down, healing Aiden.
Yeah, Nate Hill and Aiden there in the feed. Timmy Tenders getting in trouble. Don't love to see it, but that's great news for Nade Shot and Brooke AV. That was Nade Shot's only goal. Outplays Timmy.
Tenders? What is Timmy Tenders?
Timmy Tenders, you just got Tim the Tatman, a little Timmy Tenders, a little chicken finger hands,
Commandment in the feed taking down one of our qualified winners. In fact, there are so many eliminations going down in the feed right now, and we're not even in zone 2. Nate Hill taking down Chad A30, joined by Aiden. Peterbot taking down Zunies as well. So many people are going down at the start of this game.
Yeah, remember Zunies was in that 4th spot coming in. His duo will have to put in some work a little bit later. Good to see Liquid Stretch back on the stream working with Edgy.
Oh, and
another
not just
top
working.
Competitor, always going into your final 5 in the last 2 Chipotle Challengers events.
Doing a good job crafting together as well. Although they didn't have any contention in Lazy Lake, they're still going to box up when they're crafting because they're smart and they're safe. And being able to live is a huge part of getting some points in this competition. Taking a few shots onto the team off into the distance. It looks like that's going to be Illist's team over there. Not able to grab a few shots, but they are going to need to take a few shots if they don't want to have to deal with Storm Surge. But honestly, 78 players remaining. We're not even into Zone 2. I don't even know if we're going to see Storm Surge in this game.
Illis continues to get tagged up. Nice shots from the passenger seat as Stretch is just driving around. So talk to me a little bit about the Storm Surge, because that wasn't in the game in the first year, and some people have put Fortnite away for a minute. So how does the Storm Surge work, and what are we looking at here in competitive?
So, you know how we're talking about how placement's really important, but obviously if you're playing placement, you can just hide in a bush and stay there forever and maybe rotate into zone to play safe. But that's not exciting. You don't want to watch that kind of action going on. Speaking of action, Slick and Elige representing Latin America right now, taking a few shots. In fact, Slick is able to take down Omar, but Omar's teammate still alive, hiding on the low ground right now. Is Slick going to be able to grab the elimination? And it looks like they're able to do it.
Yeah, feeling good. His Slick and Elige, they are going to have some nice gear to work with. Got the harpoon ready to rock, shotguns, and some heals. Could go for a little bit more as we go late into the game, but early eliminations on your rotation. These are going to be big as we're seeing just the second circle come into play. Keep it in mind, 7 points was all it took to get into our top 4. That means it's anyone's game here.
Yeah, 7 points to get into that top. That is... 7 eliminations is so easy in a duos competition, especially for some of the incredible teams that we're seeing right now. We're not even in zone 2, and Slick and Elige already have 2 eliminations. But as you were saying before, as you were asking, what about Storm Surge? Well, if you make it all the way, I believe it's either into zone 2 or zone 3, and there are more than 70 players.
All right, we lost Kelly for a moment. We'll be getting her back in just a moment here. We have Emad and Weston, and unfortunately, Weston McKenney, he just got dropped. So it's the TSM player all alone, and you can see Animal is just firing shot after shot. Finally, the pinch comes in, and Emad will be sent to the bench with no eliminations again. And Brook AB was just beaten up by Jock. So Jock has taken out Team Nadeshot and Brook AB. We got Kelly rejoining us here as Animal was the player able to take down Emad and Weston. So far, we're seeing a lot of early picks, and unfortunately, a lot of the big names are starting to exit here, Kelly.
Big names are starting to exit, but we've already seen some big names go through, and we still have another game to go. This is a 3-game series here, and
True.
once all those points have been accumulated, that's where we're going to be finding the first place winner, walking away with the lion's share of our prize pool, but of course also a year's supply of Chipotle. That, you know, out of all the things you could win, bragging rights, the golden pickaxe, whatever, you know, a year's supply of Chipotle definitely seems like the best prize so far.
Going back over to Commandment and Senate to show you that Commandment is sitting on 1 elimination. We're going to keep bouncing our screen around. This duo, though, also loading up on the peppers, and this is something we didn't see in our last tournament. So describe what peppers are used for, and will we see these mid-game, late-game? How do they come into play?
Rotations, rotations, rotations. Chili peppers allow you to move very quickly throughout the map. And when you're kind of in storm, as we're seeing Sent to do right now, popping a pepper, rotating quickly into zone is definitely going to help you, especially once we make it into that zone 5, half in, half out. It's going to take a bit of a distance to be able to make it into zone safely. So by having those peppers, you're kind of assuring yourself to have some safe rotations.
I love it. Commandment just tossing all the heals over to his buddy Scented.
Ooh.
Little teamwork coming into play, even without being boxed up. We're going to keep bouncing around to a few different screens here as our observers are showcasing the rest of the map. I want to see what's been going on with Booga. Has he and Christian Pulisic been able to survive? Here's the man, as we say his name. He's got Nutty Figo. That's Christian playing alongside the world champ. One of the few players that I'm really upset has a deeper voice than me. Booga is like a third of my age, and he has a more manly voice, Kelly.
Isn't it scary? Isn't it like really scary seeing these kids who are literally a third of your age? Ooh, but Booga taking some shots on Jock on Acorn, my team to beat right here. One of the best teams from North American East. Booga taking some shots on them, not actually able to hit anything right now, but he's going to quickly box up, play a little bit safe, and I'm sure that Acorn and Jack are not going to try and re-engage here. But yes, as you were saying, Booga, so young, and of course when you think of Booga, you think of Golden Boy yelling, Booga in 2019, the world champ. But honestly, even though 2019 was a few years ago, Booga is still constantly in the top 10, not just in the FNCS, but DreamHacks, third parties, cash cups, everything. Booga is still a top player to fear in the competition.
And he just did his own event this week, so congrats to the man doing everything possible here in the world of Fortnite. A champion, and tonight he gets to play with a member of the Chelsea lineup, also the U.S. national team, some of the top footballers on the planet, and Christian Pulisic. We're going to take a look at a few different perspectives, but I'd love to stay on with Booga to see just what is the plan with this rotation, because clearly you're not playing with your standard duo, right? This is not another Sentinel in your duo lineup, so how do you approach the game differently? What do you expect to see from the world champ?
Ooh, I mean, understanding just like game sense, rotations, map awareness. There are so many elements that go into Fortnite. Not just being able to be mechanically sound, but also understanding, look, he knows that Symmetrical's there. He knows that he needs to be aware of him, but he also knows that they're so far away, he doesn't need to engage right now. He can farm those resources. He can probably even grab a few fish right now. We saw he had one flopper before, but now there's some action going on with Peter Bob, Revised, and Korean Bob, Acorn and Jack trying to third party that fight that's going on.
Acorn has been so aggressive. He was the player that got tagged up by Booga a little bit earlier. Doesn't matter. Right next to his opponents, trying to get into the box as they go for the third party. And as you can see on that mini map, everyone's starting to edge their way into the next zone. As it's going to be Booga and Christian just hiding inside. Our observers are going to keep bouncing us around. And reminder, chat, you can tell us which players you want to see. You don't have to just keep spamming exclamation Chipotle. That'll help you win a headset. But you don't have to only type that in the chat. You're joining us for the next few hours as we are bringing you, again, the Chipotle Challenger Series here in 2021. More and more people keep piling into the Twitch stream, and we love to see it. It's all of your favorite pro players from the Fortnite universe teamed up with some stars from the influencer world as well.
Let it be known, though, that if all you want to do is type an exclamation point Chipotle, you can do that as well. In fact, you can
Copy
do
and
pretty
paste
much
it.
anything here in our Twitch chat because we are here for you guys, but we're also here for our streamers, Booga and Nutty, in our feed right now. Just playing a little bit passively. They're doing pretty good on resources right now. They don't have to worry too much about this third zone that's coming in. In fact, they have a pretty good spot in the middle of zone.
Feeling good about their setup. Turtle Tavern. Polarized. Zunies is back up on his feet, so it looks like they were able to get him back in the game as that duo is in your top 4 reminder after our first drop. Good to see them back up to full force. I was worried about Zunies earlier.
Oof. But you have to be worried right now for Booga. Turtle Tavern is an incredible player, and they are so close to each other right now. But even though they're this close, they also know that a lot of teams are going to be rotating in here. And if they do start that fight, that most likely means that they're going to have a third party jump in on them. So even though they're close to the enemy team, they're probably not going to engage just yet.
RPG available for Unsightly. You'll see that come into play later. As right now is just all about scouting. And that's some really nice shots at range.
Good shots going on right now from Power and Unsightly, representing Pure. Now taking a look at a new team, Ring and Cam. Although Ring goes down right now, we're actually seeing Mega and Dubs going up against Colazo and D-Roller, 2 incredible teams right now. But I don't think that they're going to continue that engagement.
We're closing in on 30,000. Tell your parents we are live and they can win quesadillas. Twitch.tv/Chipotle. We got another giveaway coming up here soon. I can't tell you exactly when, but it might be after gameplay. Hint, hint. Booga on your screen once again. He's got some flops. He's got the harpoon. They've been doing a little fishing, a lot of hiding, just taking their time. Everyone else around the map, you can see loading up to their northwest.
You saw that fire going on in the builds as well, most likely coming from a fire bow there. You can see Turtle Tavern has a bow, in fact, as well as an AR, and of course that purple shotgun. Now moving on over to Symmetrical. Decent loadout as well. They're going to stay on the low ground, but it looks like another team is trying to engage them. Symmetrical, one of the players from the team that I actually had to win the entire North American West competition, although he didn't, he did get top 10, joining Turtle Tavern right now. I actually am really excited to see this duo and how they perform in game number 2.
And can I make a special request to our observer on behalf of the chat? Would you mind moving the mouse?
Oh.
There we go. Observer 2's got it figured out. We got the crosshairs. Everyone's zoning in into it on the chat. Sorry, guys. We're with you. Here's Symmetrical with the shotguns. And they're going for the wall. Polarized, trying to escape with his life, getting back to his duo. And you can see Symmetrical and Turtle Tavern just playing the edge of these boxes here. They don't want to fully commit, but they want their opponents to respect them, at least make them think they're coming in before the rotation goes down.
It's too early to commit, especially when you're going to be committing against a team like Commandment and Scented. Polaroid alone right now. Looks like he is going to have to go into the end game as a solo player. But now, taking a quick look again at Power and Unsightly, it looks like they're actually holding high right now. They're a bit on the edge of zone, but again, it's still 4th zone. 5th zone is going to be the half in, half out. So we're going to see, hopefully that goes into their favor, because if you're holding high from zone 5 all the way on, that is a great position to be in. Paper taking down Apollo in our elimination feed. 31 teams remaining. Still no placement points allotted just yet, but you saw it on the screen. Storm Surge is now active, but I believe that there was only going to be one player that has to go down to Storm Surge for it to go away.
Turtle Tavern in a little bit of stink, getting hit with the bow there. You can see that's Christian Pulisic pushing up with Booga right next to Symmetrical and Tavern. The rotation did go down from everyone else. You can see Eclipse and Zypha starting to make their way into the low ground as Furious and Rokane are on the other side of that wall. And this is going to be fun to watch here in the next 5-10 minutes. Everyone is about to go to war. And Booga, he knows he's going to have to make a move here in the next 30 seconds or so. They're knocking on their door.
Symmetrical and Tavern right now, they have so many top teams surrounding them just in this corner, and we're not even in zone 5, but in about 4, 3, we're going to see where that 5th zone goes, and where is it going to be popping? All the way across the screen. Oh no, poor Symmetrical Internal Tavern.
That's
It could have popped right on them, but literally as far away as you could go is where they're going to be having to rotate, and they know that there are some incredible teams that are going to be in their way before they can rotate, one of which is Booga right in front of them.
Booga and Christian, they have them in their way, and we will see Scented and Commandment, though, continue to go to town. That's their fourth elimination. This is the team that picked up 6 eliminations in their first drop. They got second place for a total of 16 points overall. Sitting on 4 more eliminations, that's 20 points, and that's before any placement in this game.
That is petrifying. Not only their loadout, not only their builds, but the fact that they already have 4 eliminations. Booga right now taking a moment to grab some quick shields and a harpoon gun as well, because that 5th zone is now ready to go. They're going to have to rotate over, and just like Booga was going to be in the way of the enemy teams are also going to be in the way of Booga as he does go into that 5th zone.
All right, it's time to climb. And he is doing a nice job leading the way for Christian, who's going to join him up in the box. And they will chill here for the moment. You can see the shots are going down, though, as it's Jamper, Acorns, Temple, all in the feed. Zypha is dropped. Oof. And there is Pledge answering back on Jamper. So Hape's still alive, trying to keep his team in it. Jack will add his 4th elimination to the feed.
My gosh, there is some crazy action going on right now. Unsightly and Power playing a bit more passively compared to the rest of the lobby. Now taking a look at Booga, who's having a few shots down on him onto Snacky. Are they going to be able to turn this around? A quick edit right there to get his team back together. They're doing a pretty good job staying on the low ground, staying too much out of the action. But are they going to be able to grab an elimination from this engagement? Oh, Pledge taking down Jamper and Paper at the same time. Symmetrical is also down due to FaZe Mega.
Crazy stuff going down, and while all that's happening, a sneaky move here as Booga's going to pick up the elimination on the back end. That was Turtle. Now he's running into Commandment and Scented, though, and this is going to be a sign of danger. Look out, buddy. Illest running away, Booga chasing through the wall.
That is incredible to see Booga chasing down Commandment and Scented, but unfortunately Booga is the one that goes down, and so did his teammate. And with 21 teams still remaining, they're not going to get any placement points. In fact, they're only going to walk away with 1 elimination point. But look at the eliminations right now on Colosso and D-Roller, an incredible team right now with 4 eliminations. But now we're looking at Height, and Jade is currently holding Height all alone. Temple B now moving forward on the zone, taking some shots onto the low ground. 2 eliminations now for this team.
Major credit to Meg. I don't know if you were watching that in the third person, but he nosedived off the top, was able to survive as he had Temple right on his heels. But it's Temple and Versace still with Height, and they are looking to dismantle this structure. There's another elimination piling in for Temple. Already 3 for Versace and Temple, and they are going for the distance. They want a top 4 finish. That's where you get at least 5 points added to your overall score.
And now there are only 16 teams remaining. That's once you get to 12 teams, that's where the placement points are made. Tragics and Cease now holding it in the mid ground. Cease really low, but able to hold on the edge of zone without too much engagement going in on them. He does have a few more shields, but no white heals, which is a risky place to be in. He does have some good guns, but is he going to be able to take some eliminations there? Oh, shots coming down onto Cease. Tragics now the only one alive with 3 eliminations.
Alex Gons up top, running for his life, and he is just going to be tarping. Meanwhile, we're going to see TSG Snacky trying to finish off the kills from above. 2 players and his targets can't land a single shot there. But you got to be feeling good. You're on top of the mountain. Everyone else is below you, and this is exactly how Ronaldo and Blake walked away with the W in game number 1.
That is right. Height wins games, low ground wins tournaments, but this tournament's only 3 games long, so it definitely looks like Height is the play to make. I mean, you can see the stinkfish going on right there. They are going to avoid it as from all chances. Temple taking down another elimination, but it's Alex on Height right now, and Snacky doing it quite well. Acorn and Commandment actually close to each other. Look at some of the teams that we have right here. We got Temple, Colosso, Slacks, Furious. So many big names right now on this in-game.
Final 7 teams. Commandments in the feed as Acorns goes down to the Surge, and D-Roller is going to double up with Edge now out of the game. Alex surviving, getting healed up. We go over to Illest and Dub, so you can see in the feed, this is Slaxo's point of view, working with Illest. His duo just picked up 2 more eliminations. They are continuing to roll.
Ooh, trying to climb high right now, going in for the mid-ground fights. They see Slacks right there, so they know that the teammate might still be alive, but DeRoller able to take Slacks down. Illis now alive with 3 eliminations going on to the engagement against DeRoller here. It's a 1v1 fight, but we have Commandment on the bottom as well as Alex. It looks like it's actually a 1v1v1v1. Now it's a 3-team fight going on. Illis still holding high. Commandment on the low ground. Temple on the mid ground right now. What is going to happen here? Commandment is so low on health. Illis definitely has everything that he needs right now to walk away with the victory royale.
Oh, Illis can just sit up top and watch the fight happen down low. Commandment, a top 3 finish, but that's it. It's Temple coming up with the pick, and now Illis just trying to survive as Temple is forced into the storm. A big chunk coming out.
But is it going to be enough? Temple and Illis now 1v1. Illis is the victory royale winner with Slacks. 4 eliminations. 15 points for that victory roll is going to get them 19 points, and I'm sure they're feeling like dynamite right now because what an incredible game number 2 that was.
It's so good to see Illis pop it off again. Reminder, Illis was part of that trio. We saw him in the first event. You saw him again in the second with a different lineup. He shows you it doesn't matter if it's trios, it's duos. He's able to put up some numbers, and that was a big win. Just 4 eliminations. It's not the 10 we saw out of Stable Ronaldo and Blake in that game 1, but another 19 points on the scoreboard. You're already in the top 4. You're starting to feel good if you're Illis and Slacks.
Well, I feel like this is kind of showcasing that it's not just, you know, a placement-heavy game, which we just saw from Illis's competition, but also if you are able to grab those eliminations, you still can do well, even if you're not able to make it into the top 3. So I love to see kind of the diversity here as far as playstyles go for this endgame.
How did things shape up differently here in our second game of the night compared to the first? Shout out to our observers, by the way. We saw a ton of kills, especially in the last 3 minutes there.
If I'm not mistaken, game number 1 came down to Ronaldo and Blake versus Commandment and Scented. So a 2v2. And obviously when it comes down to the 2v2, you're kind of able to play a bit more of a standard game of Fortnite. So in that instance, it was Height had the win. Commandment and Scented held Height. Or I'm sorry, Ronaldo and Blake held Height all the way from zone 6 right there. So it was kind of a standard gameplay. But game number 2 came down to a 1v1v1v1. That right there, too much is going on. You can't make any predictions. In fact, it is just going to be who can shoot the heads the best.
Get your chips and clips ready here as we take a look back at some of the highlights. Mega, this was the man who had a nosedive after having height for a while, was able to put on some early aggression. We saw Slick and Elise doing their thing. A lot of different duos picking up 1 or 2 picks. How are those lime chips? Delicious?
Oh, delicious. I didn't even dip it into anything because I'm so afraid that I'm going to spill it all over my shirt. But even plain, it is quite delicious.
Polarized looked really good as well, and I was worried for Scented and Commandment, but Commandment, even without Scented, was able to survive and finish top 3 again. Very consistent performances out of this duo. Other squads, though, that you saw here as things went crazy as we went to the wide, Kelly.
I mean, look at Height right now. Snacky holding Height right now. I know that we saw Temple and Jay, although his name in-game is Versace. I'm sure he's feeling quite high class right now because they had an incredible performance. Oh no, a chip is in my throat. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh. You got to get guac. Here, pull it out. Pull it out. All right. So here was the final moment. Illest with the shotty in Temple. He is going to be hating himself for a wide miss on the right. Enough time for his opponent to land the final shot. And there we can see a big dub put up by Illest and Slacks in our second game. Solid stuff across the board, and I can't wait to see the overall standing because there has to be so many duos side by side, just 1 or 2 points separating them. I feel like it's still anyone's game, but we're starting to have an idea of who at least are your top 3 or 4 teams to look at going into the last drop.
I definitely feel like we're going to see Illist's team jump up into our top 10. But where are Commandment and Scented? Ronaldo and Blake had such a command and lead in game number 1, but they weren't in the end game. So Commandment and Scented with an incredible end game in game number 2 as well might be able to break into that first place spot. But of course, we are going to wait. We're getting those scores tabulated right now because we want to make sure that they are accurate, everyone. But you know, I'm eating some delicious food right now, and I feel like the chips, they're just not enough.
You know what you should have?
Oh.
You should add a little quesadillas to your life.
Oh.
You don't know what a quesadilla is? Well, here's a look.
The new handcrafted quesadilla at Chipotle. It's a whole new way to adobo chicken, a whole new way to guac, and a whole new way to order. Because it's only in the app or online. The new quesadilla. It's a whole new way to Chipotle.
That's a brand new look at the brand new quesadilla. It's available right now through your Chipotle app. Just $1 delivery, and you could get yourselves a quesadilla while enjoying the show. You can do that, or you can do this drop right here. Let's go ahead and unlock another code. Kelly, we've given out 2,500. How about 2,500 more quesadillas right now? All you got to do, text Misty672 to 888222, and you've got an entree on the way.
Listen, some people might say, Puckett, 5,000? That's too many quesadillas. I say that's not enough. 5,000 quesadillas, I can eat that in a weekend. We need more quesadillas. Everyone, make sure that you're texting Misty, of course, as a shout out to Misty Meadows, not to the Pokemon character, but 888222 for your code. And let me just say, these 3 sides right here, if those aren't the sides you want, you don't have to pick them. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, there's like 9 options that you can choose from. I personally chose this delicious cheese dip that I have right here. So if you want a variety for your quesadilla, you just, it's not just meat and cheese. You have
You went queso?
I went queso.
Oh, I didn't even think of queso.
Double
what
cheese.
am I doing here?
Double
I went
cheese,
corn
man.
on this side. Who gets corn when you could have queso? Don't be like Puckett. Be like Kelly Link and get yourself hooked up. Congratulations to everyone in the chat. Also, let your wives know on time. I just saw someone posting, wow, those went quick. I got mine, but my wife was too slow. We'll tell her to have her thumbs ready. We got more drops on the way. Congrats to all the winners for now. And speaking of winners, we're going to be breaking down all of the numbers from game number 2 after the commercial break. So don't go anywhere. 2 games in, 1 to go. 65 grand. It's the Chipotle Challenger Series. We'll be right back.
When you're ready for Chipotle, the Chipotle app is ready for you. Get all your favorites, fast, fresh, and with unlimited customization, so it's made exactly how you like it. With the Chipotle app, real food is ready. Order now for contactless carryout or delivery.
Grill's the heart of the kitchen. Grill's the heart of the kitchen. It's where the magic happens. This is where we're making the food. It all comes together here. We season it, we grill it, and it tastes great. It's my favorite part, laying it down. Listen to that sizzle.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Chipotle Challenger Series. Joining me here, I have Brooke AB. How you doing, Brooke?
Yeah. You know, I could be a little bit better, but I'm having a good time, and that's what matters. Yeah,
That
it's
is
been a rough
what matters
road
right now. Yeah, I mean, so first and foremost, you're teaming up with Nate Shot right now. What is it like as Nate Shot as a partner?
He's technically my boss, so I feel like I kind of gotta play well, but we're struggling a little bit. We got great chemistry. We've got the talent. It's just not coming out in our gameplay. So
Well, there's a
yeah.
new season, season 6. We obviously have crafting in the game. There's some new wolves and boars as well. So what do you think of the new season of Fortnite?
It's a lot different than what I'm used to, so it's been a bit of a learning curve, but it's cool. The guns are really cool. I love the dinosaurs. I'm really happy about. I actually have a dinosaur here with me, so I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the dinosaurs. But the new season's been great. It's gonna take some getting used to for sure.
And I mean the tournament as well, getting used to it. Who do you think right now? Is there like a team that you're like, oh, this is the team to beat? This is the team that like my rivals?
I gotta say, Ronaldo's looking his team's doing pretty good out there. So they're the number one team, obviously, for everyone to beat. Matt and my personal rival would have to be Tim.
Of course.
Tim is our direct head-to-head. Matt really wants to kill him. So that's Matt's dream. So we'll see if that happens.
Well, then what's your plan? How are you going to eliminate Tim the Tapman?
Oh, I'm going to get fired. Oh. Yo, you're saying great things, Matt. Great things. we've got a guest.
We got a guest. Tim the Tapman.
I listen to whatever Matt says. Whatever Matt says, I'm just gonna do it and hope for the best.
Well, after just hearing that and how he yells at you, I would listen to him too. But
right, exactly. I got to.
Yeah. Chipotle is putting this incredible tournament together, and it's not just like the viewers that are winning these cool headsets as well as some quesadillas, but first place team is walking away with actually top 4 are walking away with a year supply of Chipotle. So I'm going to ask you, if you were to get a year supply of Chipotle, what would be your purchase? What's the item that you could eat like every day for a year?
It used to be the burrito bowl. I love the burrito bowls. I get burrito bowl, some chips, some, queso on the side. But the new quesadillas are so good that I think they're my new go-to. I have to go, whether it's just cheese or like a steak quesadilla, so good.
I'm eating the steak quesadilla right now. I legitimately do have it on
Isn't
screen.
it so
Chat.
good?
We've already given away. It's so good. I got it with the cheese dip and then the green sauce. But chat, if you guys want to win one as well, we've already given 5,000 quesadillas away, and we're going to be giving thousands of more at the end of our stream. But game number 3, final game of the series. Brooke, what is your plan going into this game?
Cross my fingers and hope for at least 1 kill.
Oh, that's all you need. 1 elimination, 1 point on the board. Is there a certain gun that you're hoping to get that elimination with?
Oh, man. I don't even know the names of them yet. One of the shotguns. Give me a shotgun and I'll do my best. I'll rush someone.
The primal shotgun has been everyone's go-to. I'm sure if you get a primal shotgun in your
Yes.
hands, you're going to be able to get that elimination. But Brooke, before I let you go and get ready for game number 3, anything else that you want to say?
Tim, you're going down. all
Ooh,
there is.
Tim the Tatman, you better watch out right now. Brooke, thank you so much for this interview and good luck into our final game, game number 3. But right now, I'm going to be
Thank
joining
you.
Puckett once again, and we got to take a look at our leaderboard because we have to see Commandment and Scented had an incredible performance, and of course, they are now in first place. But look how close it is, Puckett.
Scented in Commandment at 32 points. Illest and Slack, so you saw getting the finish there at 30. That's your first and second. Of course, Ronaldo and Blake having some troubles at the start of game 2, but they had that huge game 1, which keeps them in the running in your top 3. The squad we've seen in the kill feed, but not on camera enough. It's Acorn and Jock. I want to see what is this duo doing as we go into our third and final drop. As you take a look, though, Kelly, 5 through 10, if someone's going to make the leap and finish in the year supply of entrees here from Chipotle, who's getting the quesadillas in 2021 in your eyes? Who jumps up?
Listen, I said it. I said Acorn and Jack at the start, and although they are 13 points away from Sincom, as you guys know, Scented and Commandment, it's got to be them, man. That's who I am giving it towards. Ron and Blake, as you said, even with the issues, still holding it out in third place right now. But it's not just our top 10 that are going to be winning some items. As you guys saw, a little sneak peek, a little preview. We're giving some headsets away to chat. Chat, if you guys want to win one of these, oh, beautiful, incredible, high quality, comfortable headsets with the Chipotle, I don't know what you would call these, panels. Well, then make sure
speaker tags.
Oh,
yeah.
thank you. Well, then you guys are going to have to follow along right now because we're going to be giving away one very soon.
They're pretty awesome. You can win it right now. Exclamation Chipotle. Put it in the chat. Let's get rid of all other words except for the word Chipotle right now and keep it going for the next 10 minutes. Chat, congratulations. We've already passed out 2 headsets. This is the 3rd drop of the night. Chipotle Challenger Series hooking you up each and every time we go live. 5,000 quesadillas out the door. 3 headsets on the way, and we've got more food coming a little bit later. And Kelly, we still have a game to go. $65,000 in cash and prizes, and it all ends right after this final set of fights.
Whew. Game number 3. It's, typically in these final games for the FNCS, it's 12 games, 6 games, 8 games, but there's only 3 here, so there isn't much time to adjust to the meta that we're seeing. I confidently thought that this was a game that was going to go to the heal off, but we haven't seen the heal off whatsoever. In fact, it's been high ground versus low ground, a very standard competitive end game. So I'm excited to see, is that going to be the same thing for game number 3, or are we going to see something a little different now?
Yeah, you know what I was also thinking about? We heard all the smack talk between Nadeshot, Brooke, and we haven't heard Tim's side of things.
Oh.
But I wonder, what if Tim, Nadeshot, and Brooke all decided we're going to land in the same area? Maybe we could have some little birds there. Maybe the people in their chat, maybe the people in our chat, maybe the people on Twitter could go out there and maybe suggest a location where they could duel things out in early on and we could observe it. If we may or may not have ended up successfully match fixing this game fight.
Yeah, that's
Kelly,
definitely match fixing.
Where would you like to see this battle go down?
Oh, well then you gotta pick the middle of the map. Let's do it in the Spire, one of the newest additions to Season 6. You have this gigantic spire in the middle of the map where the desert used to be. So if you're gonna have this epic duel where they don't even care about the points that they get, might as well have it at the Spire.
And we're about 3 minutes out from that drop. So there's still time for us, chat, to reach these people and suggest that they do a Spire battle.
Yes.
What weaponry do you think would be fair for a 2v2 on the Spire?
Oh, I don't care about it being fair. I want it to just be bows. I just want it to be like bows just shooting at each other. It's primal, right? We're kind of going a bit prehistoric here, especially with the dino eggs that we're seeing cracking and hatching throughout the map. So we might as well go primeval and go with the bows. I don't remember, at least, I don't know if you know, I didn't hear any shotguns happening in the caveman times. No, it was all about bows and spears. And since we don't have spears, although we do have, of course, the harpoon gun, I want to see some bow action.
That was a good call on the harpoon gun. It was close to a spear. projectile spear on a rope.
Yeah,
I like
a
where we're
little
going
similar.
with that. Let's go to the Spire and let's see the showdown. Nade Shot, Tim, Brooke, make it happen. If you're just joining us, let's take a look at some of the familiar faces you're going to be seeing in this tournament. We've got so many awesome creators, your favorite Fortnite competitors, but also we've got streamers, athletes, influencers from around the world all playing in this one. We brought in some of our favorites from the other side of the planet. Loser Fruit and Fresh, we're not allowed in your country, but it's great to have you in our tournament. We got Booga playing with the soccer legend Christian Pulisic from Chelsea. We've got, of course, Juju Smith-Schuster, who just signed another $8 million deal with the Steelers. Welcome back to Pittsburgh. I know
Wait.
black and gold fans are excited for that one. Go ahead.
Puckett. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I have to cut you off because I'm afraid that we're going to lose this graphic. Booga and Christian Pulisic, are they related? They definitely
think
look
so.
like they could be like distant cousins at least.
Yeah, I feel like Christian's just the yoked version of Booga. Booga hasn't started lifting yet. Like, he still has a neck. Once that shoulder and neck become like one, they're going to be identical. Also feel like Nate Hill could be a weird relative, maybe third cousin. Nade Shot has the best hair on this whole screen, though. Sorry, Nico.
easily.
You're second best. Nade Shot's got the best do on this screen, without a
Actually,
doubt.
there's some pretty good hairdos all along a lot of the players that we're seeing right now. But we just got to talk to Brooke there, joined by Nade Shot, of course, the owner of 100 Thieves, an incredible team, a team that actually has a lot of top Fortnite players as well. And they said that they don't care about winning. They want to take down Tim the Tapman. That's what they're going to be
Yep.
aiming towards.
Looking for Tim and Juju. We'll see if we can get eyes on that fight at the start of the game. Maybe they will face off. And a reminder, they are playing for some serious cash and prizes. Our top 4 teams are getting hooked up with a year supply of Chipotle. And not just that, cash to go with it. 15 grand to first. Second place is walking home with 7.5. Third place gets a cool 5 grand. And fourth place is splitting 2,500. Everyone else, though, 5th through 10th, they're getting some sick gear from Logitech. Kelly, I know your whole setup is featuring Logitech gear. What kind of stuff can our players be picking up from the Logitech website?
All right, I'm going to be very candid with you right now. I love
with
the
it.
Logitech C920. I know everyone now has
The
these
old school
4K
cam.
Yes. I know everyone
So
now
not the
has these
Brio.
4K cameras. They have all these beautiful setups and everything. But the Logitech C920, I might be getting up there in years. You know, maybe I got a few wrinkles. This camera is just the right quality that it has a good look. But you have it too. Yes.
I had one.
But it also hides the right amount of like blemishes and lines. So it's the perfect camera for me. It still looks high quality enough, but just low quality enough that you don't see any of this.
That's smart. That's smart. I zoom in too far sometimes and freak myself
Yeah.
out. Logitech has got some great gear. I have to say my favorite is the wireless mouse. I never thought you
Oh.
could have a good wireless mouse. I came
Yeah.
from the purest, like, competitive esports sides where it's like everything has to be hardwired for instant reaction time. The wireless, I love it. If you have the mouse pad, it charges your mouse overnight when you're not even playing. Get yourself set up. Have a clean desk for once in your life. It is a game changer. Logitech's got the
Whoa.
best gear.
I feel like you're calling a lot of chat out right now. I feel like chat has some clean desks right now, especially cleaning it up because they need to make some space for their quesadillas that they just
True.
won, Puckett.
True. Got to make room for some quesadillas. Make sure you get yourself some chips and guac. Don't just get the chips. Guac it up as well. And get your cheese sauce, better known as queso, on the side. It's time to go into our drop number 3 of the night here in just a moment. We're waiting on our players to get into the lobby. And as soon as all 50 teams are ready, we're going at it one more time. To revisit it, Kelly, we have our top 10 leaderboard. We should feature some of the top names coming into this because it's one more game, one more
I
chance
thought
to
I
go.
had time to eat my chips, but okay, I guess we can talk about some more of the top teams right now. I'm really
Yeah.
excited to see Ronaldo and Blake, what they're going to be doing in game number 3. Are they going to be able to make a comeback from game number 2? Obviously, Commandment and Sinted, the top team to look at right now, an incredible team from North American East. Are they just going to run away with it right now? Or are we going to have Slacks and Illest kind of climb up the leaderboard, especially after game number 2? And are they going to be the teams that are going to walk away in first place? Look at the
Now, if you-
eliminations, though. Oh my gosh. Commandment and Sinted, 15 elims between 2 games.
2 games. It's pretty darn impressive. Ronaldo and Blake, 10 elims. That was all in game 1. They didn't get anything going in game 2 there. Of course, we're looking at Acorn, though, sitting there with Jock. Is it Jack or Jock? I always say Jock. Is it Jack? All of the above. Let us know, chat. They're at 11 elims. So I feel like those are our 3 teams to watch, the double-digit elim squads. But also Furious, returning champion, playing with Rokane. I haven't seen this duo enough on the stream tonight. I feel like if there's someone on the edge, I think it's my number 6 squad that moves up and knocks Jock and Acorn down.
I think what you're seeing right now is a top 3 fight for first place between Scented, Illist, and Ron. But then everyone else is so close together that they're kind of fighting for that 4th place spot. They want, of course, the prize money, but more importantly, if you get 4th, you're walking away with a year's supply of Chipotle. So this is no longer a fight for first for our top 10. I would say from 4th all the way down to 10th place, this is a fight for 4th place. You want to make sure that every week you are able to grab one of those delicious burritos, maybe a bowl, or hey, if you want to try out a quesadilla, you can have that every week for the next year if you're able to get into the top 4.
I'm so happy to have the Chipotle Challenger Series back. We're coming at you all year long, but tonight it's time to close it out with one final game. We are dropping in one more time. This is for all the marbles in Q1 as we're kicking off the first Fortnite event of the year for Chipotle. Let us know in the chat. I have one more code. I have my own code, but I've already ordered my lunch. I'm giving you my code if you predict the winner. I need to know in chat, who do you think is winning? Put the duo's name in the chat right now. I'm going to have my mods picking a winner at the end of the night.
I actually think I stole that code, but we have another code as well.
We've got a backup code.
Genuinely, I had to use your code for this Chipotle, but we do have other codes as well. In fact, we don't just have one. Chat, we have thousands. So make sure that you are typing that exclamation point Chipotle for these incredible headsets and texting the number that we gave you earlier for the quesadillas because, my goodness, even though I ordered this 4 hours ago, it is still quite delicious.
There you go. I have a request from our production team as well. Please give me Timmy Tenders and Nade Shot early. Let's get some cameras on our squad. We are going to be jumping into the game starting right now with Tim the Tap Man. Timmy, best of luck, bud.
So did you come up with Timmy Tenders? Is this what he came up with? Where did the name come from?
Tim has been around the internet forever. I don't know if you knew this, Kelly.
But was he always Timmy Tenders?
I feel like it was probably the last 3 years that the tendies kind of came on strong. But Timmy, there's all kind of different versions of Tim, and only a few of them I can say on live broadcast. But he's one of my favorites to watch and one of the best entertainers. He's coming in here with Juju Smith-Schuster, though, and this is one of my favorite players to watch from the athletic world. He is such a competitor, and he used to be a star sniper. Juju can't play with the snipes no more. I want to see what is the plan for Juju and Tim. And we just got told, unfortunately, we need a short break before we can get Juju and Tim in the game. So we're going to that commercial break. When we come back, it is the 3rd drop. We got more giveaways to go. It's the Chipotle Challenger Series. We'll be right back. And we're back. It's Puckett, it's Kelly Link, and we were just told 98 of the 100 players are in the lobby. So we're about to drop here any moment. Third game, third drop coming up. Kelly, it's been a good day. It's been an exciting day. It's going to have a fantastic finish here, and we just got word that we're going to be showcasing, I should say, some of our streamers throughout this third and final game. So anyone that might go out in the first 10 minutes, we might put eyes on. Who do you think has a better chance, Tim or Nadeshot here?
Hey, I think you're calling out a lot of people right now, okay? Just because they are
I'm just going off
influencers
stats.
and maybe not Fortnite pros, maybe they haven't competed in the FNCS every few months for the last 2 years, but that doesn't mean that they're going to go out at the start of the competition, Puckett.
I was just going off the kill feed the last 2 games. I'm a statistical guy. Here's one of the guys I think is probably not going to win, but he could. Let's go to a live look at his feed. This is Tim the Tatman going into the game. Super pumped for this guy.
First of all, with a victory royale, that's 15 points right there. And then with another 50 eliminations, it is possible for Tim the Tatman to walk away in first place, okay? 50 eliminations, yeah, that sounds crazy. In fact, that might sound improbable for a player like Tim the Tatman, but is it impossible? Yeah, probably too. But it's still, we still want to give him a shout out. We know that Brooke and Nadeshot are going to be gunning for Tim the Tatman. That's what they said in their last interview.
Yep.
So I'm excited to see what kind of early engagements are we going to be seeing.
And of course, Tim's teammate for this one, Juju Smith-Schuster, wide receiver, of course, for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Known not just for what he does on the football field, but the TikToks, the gameplay. The man is basically peak millennial. We're taking a look at Tim going straight in the water. Where are you going, Tim? What's the plan here?
Well, he's going to land on some of these nice rocks. He has a nice little island all to himself right now. But he's going to walk away. He says, you know what? I don't need these rocks. I don't need this brick right here. I'm going to build up. I'm going to go over to this nice little Viking ship. I don't know if there's an enemy team over on Holly Hedges, but it looks actually like it's quite clear. I don't know if Tim knows that, but he's probably going to be slowly rotating over there and actually grabbing some decent loot. Oh, wait. Far into the distance, he sees it. We are, in fact, seeing an enemy team, so he's going to be rotating back over to Dogwater.
Okay, so far, Tim has his club and about 50 brick.
It's
going to be a slow start here for Tim the Tatman and Juju Smith-Schuster. Again, I feel like I did this as well. I went to the Twitch event, and at the Streamer Bowl, I was just dropping in the middle of nowhere. I panic dropped. I didn't want to get spotted anywhere, and I just resulted with no gear, wiped almost immediately after. Tim, at this point, he's got nothing in the loadout, Kelly. It's just mats at this point.
He doesn't need anything in the loadout. This is Tim the Tatman. He has brains. Look at that forehead. You know how many brains you can hold in that forehead right there? So he is now going to rotate over to this nice little shack. What is he going to grab some here? Just some little ammo, some resources that he's going to need to make those builds in the end game.
11 bullets, that's all Tim needs. All right, we're going to keep our eyes on Tim the Tatman. We're also going to be checking out Nadeshot at the start of this game as Juju Smith-Schuster and Tim are going with the unique strategy of hiding off of the island. We'll see if that will help them get into the top 80. And I'm told Nadeshot and Brooke, their only goal was to beat Tim the Tatman. Well, Tim just outlived them both, Kelly.
Oh my gosh. Okay. You're right. You know what? These influencers might be the first 10 teams to go down. But look, Tim the Tatman still in there, and he says, you know what? My teammate might be in trouble, but I'm going to go for some fishing right now. Because you know what sounds good? Some floshers, some slurp fish, some floppers even.
As much as I love Tim, let's bounce away. Actually, as I was going to do it, he starts to take some more shots. Tim in the middle of nowhere with 11 bullets and some fish. We'll see how late into the game he can go. Juju Smith-Schuster is down and about to be out. We'll cut back to Tim a little bit later. Let's keep it moving, Kelly, to a few of our top runners. Remember, coming into game number 3, only 3 teams had double-digit eliminations. I'm looking at teams like Scented and Commandment at the top. We got Ronaldo and Blake. And, of course, Jock and Acorns making a run here at the very end as we go into the final game in the final series of fights.
Jock and Acorn are able to get first place here. That has to be one of the most impressive runs we've seen from a game 2 to game 3. It really is a fight for the top 3 right now. You have Ronaldo and Blake, you have Commandment Scented, and then you have Illist and Slacks. So that really are the top 3 teams that we're going to be looking at. But Acorn and Jack in 4th place, right at that edge right now. And we saw how close 5th through 10th is right now. And of course, only the top 10 are going to be walking away with that prize money. Of course, the top 4, they're going to get that prize pool. They're going to get the year supply of Chipotle. And then 5th through 10th are going to be getting that Logitech voucher. And as you all know, Logitech has every item that you could possibly think of and need for gaming and streaming.
Yeah, if you need it for your stream, Logitech makes it. Here's a look at the map. Tim, he's off on one of those islands way off in the corner, but everyone else is starting to make their way around. As we show you the peak, let's show you some of the big battles that are happening. We saw some action at Boney. Holly Hedges just got cleared out, though, by this crew. Domsky and Sus sitting on 2 eliminations, and now they're just starting to get their mats ready. A little bit of damage to the taxi, never did any damage.
You also saw it in the Elam feed. Elige and Slick representing Latin America, walking away with 2 eliminations at the start of the game. Peterbot taking down Zunies as well, a top player right there. Mitro, one of our European players, able to grab another elimination as well. In fact, it's Zone 1. Only 70 players remain. 47 teams down to 36 teams right now. The competition is already starting to dwindle down, and we're still in Zone 1.
I was just checking to see if Tim's still alive. I believe Tim is, guys. Tim is still alive, chat. Keep spamming Chipotle to keep Tim alive throughout all of this game 3. We can see Dom just breaking everything in the corner of Holly Hedges. There's no teams nearby, so let's keep bouncing around to maybe where we'll find some action.
Yeah, you know, just driving through some Holly Hedges right now and taking a nice look at the scenery. Of course, this beautiful aesthetic that they've added to the game. We already had the beautiful, lush, verdant forest, but now it's a bit more of a autumn, a fall aesthetic. But now we're taking a quick look over to Commandment and Scented, the team to beat right now. They're engaging on an enemy team right there, taking 1 shot, taking 2 shots. Commandment actually almost going down instead, but it looks like they were able to win that engagement. Eclipse, though, taking down Luga in the elimination feed right now. Are they going to be able to take down the team and wipe them entirely? We're going to have to find out in just a moment.
Oh my goodness, Commandment dropped to 4 HP.
No.
Scented in trouble. This is your top dogs right now. They're in first place, but they are in dire straits. What I love about this team, never backing down from a fight, but this one could become costly. Looks like for now, a little bit of heals going off, and they're going for the escape.
The shields go down for Scented. Look how low Commandment's health is. They do have some decent ammo, so if they are able to turn this engagement around, they should be able to get some fights, but they don't have the hard mat. Scented now goes down. Commandment now is the only one to live. Is he able to turn this around into something? It actually looks like he is going to disengage right now. He does not want to enter this 1v2 fight. Is he going to be able to go back for Scented? I'm not too certain. It looks like that reboot opportunity no longer there. Instead, he says, you know what? I'm going to take this semi-truck, and I'm going to get out of here. We're so far ahead right now that all we need is placement points, and I can do that as a solo player. If you're a Commandment, out of all the teams that could run this into a solo endgame, it's going to be this team right here.
And that was kind of the situation we saw last game. They got some early eliminations, and then as Scented fell, it was just Commandment in our final 3 was able to make the run as the last man standing and get those serious placement bonuses. But a tough situation. They did not plan on losing that fight. Those were 2 early elims that they expected to just pick up and keep moving on with more loot. Instead, totally drastic change in your game plan for the remainder here of game 3. And that opens up opportunities for teams like Ronaldo and Blake. Keep your eyes on Jock and Acorns. They could also jump up the leaderboard if somehow Commandment goes down over the next zone or 2.
But look at Commandment right now, going towards the edge of the zone. In fact, going back into Storm, slowly rotating in there, grabbing another shotgun right there. Seems to just be playing the waiting game right now, but now shifting our focus onto Ronaldo and Blake right now, who are in a fight with Mitro and Mongrel, the European champions right now. Are they going to be able to grab some eliminations? Ronaldo going down right now against Mongrel and Mitro. In fact, Mitro is able to grab the elimination onto him. Blake, the only person remaining right now. He does have a decent loadout, so if he is going to take this engagement, it looks like he is indeed 1v2 against Mongrel and Mitro. Is a scary place to be in.
And Blake is just getting peppered from every angle, able to chunk for 100 there. Way to answer back. Blake trying to stay alive, and so far this has been impressive, but you're looking at all of our top dogs. You got Ronaldo out. You've got Scented on the bench. This is tough for two of our top 2 teams.
And I do have to give some shout outs to chat. Someone said Tim the Tap Man is still alive, and that's the kind of information that we need to know. But right now, shifting our focus back again to Blake versus Mitro. Grabbing his shields, taking it down right now. Mitro actually going down. Incredible engagement from Blake right there, but Mongrel is still alive. Is he going to be able to turn this around? Mongrel now taking a few shots onto him, boxing up for Mitro. Gonna grab that revive. Blake now throwing some shields down, but those white heals are missing.
Blake taking his time to pounce. He's just got to clean up Mongrel, and here's the fight. Challenging the storm. One more pump for both players, and instead it is going to be Blake sent to his tomb, as it's going to be Mitro and Mongrel surviving from the UK, and we've got 6 eliminations on the Euros already.
This completely changes the leaderboard because we already know that Commandment is going in alone. There's still 32 teams. That is not enough for placement points. Jack and Acorn, the team that I said was going to walk away with the big W after the 3 games, now going after Enad, who looks like he is in a solo situation right now. Jamper and Paper also close by. They're now going to be engaging at Enad in a third-party situation. Slacks and Ellis not too far off either. This is going to be an interesting engagement. Our Jock and Acorn in 4th place, able to grab these much-needed elimination points.
I love that all of our top dogs are just holding the W key, trying to force their way into their opponent's box and take the fight to them. Weston McKenney already down there. I believe you saw Emad cleaned up. Jock down low, as Acorns is going to be able to collect all of the remaining shields. They have won this area of the map. They're going to take high ground, and they know Jamper and Paper are nearby, but I doubt they're going to come at us in a head-to-head fight.
They are slowly climbing up to the top. And speaking about being on top, it's Tim the Tap Man, and he is now probably
top 28,
no longer...
Timmy!
Oh.
Top 28! You almost got in the top half of the lobby, bro. The island strat only lasts so long.
Yeah, and you know what, though? I'm sure he had fun being a part of this Chipotle Challenger series. Just being a part of the top 50 is something that you should be proud about, so always love to see Tim the Tap Man there. Excited to see, though, how Acorn and Jack are able to turn this around now. We saw them in 4th place after game number 2, and some big teams, some big players have already gone down. So out of all the opportunities they could be given, this is the golden opportunity to steal 1st place away.
You got Versace and Temple, aka Jay, hanging out on the side. Remember, Temple was one of the 3 players left alive at the end of last game with Illust and Commandment. High placing, but they need more eliminations in this final game. Same can be said about Dubs and Mega going up against Edgy and Stretch. These are some juggernauts all side by side here.
Whew. Stink fish coming out right there. Mega and Dubs playing it slowly. Stretch low on shields right now with Edgy on the low ground, but now shifting our focus back again to Jock and Acorn, who's got like a decent loadout. They got decent builds as well, but it looks like he's going to be dropping down and taking a nice zip line over, but actually using that opportunity to kind of separate himself from the other teams and put some distance between them.
And I think that's smart, because that team you're looking at behind him, that's Illust. Always a threat. He's in the top 5 almost every time we get to the end of the game. Don't want to take that fight until you need to at the very end.
Ooh, you hear the car coming through. Are they able to grab a few shots on them? It's Slacks and Illust in the truck, and they're actually the team that's able to grab a few shots onto them. Going through, powering through these builds right now. Now taking a few shots. Edge is super low. You can see Jamper and Paper are also in the build as well. Jack just hiding in the bush. Are they able to turn this around into any eliminations? Tabs actually grabbing the elimination onto Illust instead.
Plenty of mats for Jack for now. Going for some pop shots. all of your top teams kind of in the same area of the map. They're all out in the open of this field. Slacks is getting tagged up from two directions. Remember, it was him and Illust rolling up in the truck. They wanted to start the fight. This isn't where they expected to find themselves, and both players will fall. So that is 3 of our top 4 teams coming into this game 3 now in trouble.
I think Commandment out of our top 3 is the only team or the only player out of the 6 alive. If I'm not mistaken, please correct me if I'm wrong, but is Ronaldo and Blake still in the competition? I haven't seen them just yet. This has been absolute madness so far, and we're still so early on into game number 3, still in zone 3. Now taking a look at Skittles and Tabs. You saw Tabs grabbing one of those vital eliminations from our top 3 teams. With 2 eliminations actually, doing a pretty good job right now and sitting pretty in the middle of zone.
All right, Chad, do me a favor. Take a break from spamming Chipotle and let me know if you win a quesadilla coming up after this game. What are you getting with it? You going guac? You going sour cream? Put a little black beans on the side. Let us know, how do you take your quesadilla? We are giving out so many thousands of quesadillas here on the Chipotle Challenger Series, as well as, of course, burritos for a year if you finish in the top 4. And I just saw the chat saying it's Jock and Acorn's game to lose. They think they are the front runners after all the other top dogs have been taken down.
Honestly, if it's Jock and Acorn, I'm gonna lose it because I called them at the start. I've spoken about this team since like October, even before then, when we saw the duos competition in DreamHack, and to see them come out on top and win a year's supply of Chipotle, well, that would just make my day. But Skittles right now, what would make his day is to stop this person that is encroaching on their box and to grab that elimination as well. 23 teams remain. Half of the players are gone from the lobby. And you know, Skittles and Tabs, they're doing a pretty decent job right now.
Yeah, they're all out of rockets, but of course, still got the shotty to play with if you're Skittles. Tabs was able to re-heal up, has the bow still available, and they're going to go for a high ground. They want to go up and over this fight. And they're trying to peek in. It's going to be Buck and Creo down below them, the BBG crew.
Bucky and Creo going against Skittles and Tabs is going to be an interesting engagement. Looks like Bucky actually does take a shot onto him. Tabs now waiting for the right engagement to make. Are they able to do anything with it, though?
Going for the quick edit shots. Tabs is just trying to find out, keep eyes on where the player is, distract while Skittles goes for the heal. Now that they're both at full health, we could see the push for an engagement. Meanwhile, overlooking all of the action, we got Duke at the top playing with Bank.
Yeah, they're kind of just relaxing right now. They got some zipline rotations if needed. It looks like they actually have height, but we're only in zone 4. This really doesn't mean too much, but they're just kind of playing it a little bit passively right now. Taking a quick look at what all the other teams are doing. Look at that, Commandment and Scented. They are a duo back once again. Turtle Tavern and Symmetrical, though, very close to them. These two teams could easily take each other out. And even looking on just beyond that, it's Nate Hill and Funk, Paper and Jamper as well. All 4 of these top teams are so close to each other.
And we were so worried for Commandment earlier. Looks great that he's got Scented and, his teammate Scented back in action, was able to revive him, bring him back. The reboot van coming into play. Meanwhile, I'm looking across the board. Liquid, Stretch, and Edgy are making their run. They have just went around 3 other teams below them. It's Temple playing with Versace, aka Jay below.
Oof. I'm loving what we see. Stretch and Edgy's loadout. Got some utility bows going on. Believe we saw Stretch with the stink bow right there. Purple AR, some floppers as well. They are ready for the end game right now. And with that 4th zone closing in, where is that 5th zone going to go? Half in, half out. This could spell disaster for a lot of the teams that we're seeing sitting around the edge. And looking over there, Edgy and Stretch not too far away from them. They're definitely going to be seeing some enemy teams rotating onto them, but they're not in a terrible spot.
I was going to say, you are now part of the highest structure in the zone. So everyone's going to be looking at you on the rotation. And you can see on that mini map all kinds of action to the north. It's going to be Peppa and Icy Fusion taking on the challenge. It's going to be Duke and Bank, also Defiable and Slick right there in the mix.
Duke.
Peppa's in trouble here.
Yeah, they're in trouble right now, but with Icy Fusion close by and some floppers as well, hopefully Icy Fusion throws them down, and there they go, throwing down the floppers right now so that Peppa can grab those much-needed white heals. Of course, we also saw that they have shields, so they're going to be able to grab those shields too. But Icy Fusion Peppa, one of the teams winning from our qualifiers, just kind of relaxing right now. You can see over there that they have a few cuttlefish, if I'm not mistaken. They kind of have an interesting property where you're kind of able to throw them over and they attach themselves to a build and are kind of acting as a proximity mine. So I'd love to see that they have 6 of them here. This is kind of a meta that started with Season 6, that if you are able to throw these all 6 of them onto a single box, that they should be able to do enough damage to be able to eliminate the team that is in that box. Speaking of eliminations though, Jock eliminating Eclipse and Zypha right there. Bucky taking down Elige as well.
You gotta love those cuddle splatters. Here's a look at Peppa's point of view. Just constantly peeking through.
Oh, so there
making
you
sure
see
no
it.
one is pushing in. Bucky was able to pick up the kill on Elige, though. That was a battle we were looking at a little bit earlier. So it looks like Bucky able to make the transition.
So you just saw right there, he threw 2 of the cuttlefish down onto the roof, shot them so that they would explode, but it didn't like he was able to turn it into anything too much. What we've been seeing a lot of players doing is that they're throwing like 4, 5, 6 of these onto a structure and then shooting at them. But not able to grab it too much right there. Icy Fusion, though, doing a pretty good job, just kind of holding mid-ground right now, shooting down onto the low ground, onto that team, and throwing his remaining 2 cuttlefish down, shoots them to get that top build destroyed, but the enemy team is able to rotate out of danger.
Now you saw the blobby fish, aka the stink fish, still available. I expect them to save that for absolute late game. In the meantime, it's time to tunnel, and they've got a team right in front of them, a big chunk for 70, looking for more. But they might just have to leave those bodies in transition and go back for the high ground challenge.
Exactly. You called it there, Puckett, that they did get a good shot right there, but it wasn't able to do too much. So instead, they're going to focus on their rotations right now, because look at that 7th zone. It is far out into the distance, and a lot of these teams are going to be slowly rotating over with that zone as well. Jacques holding height right now. We said at the start, Acorn and Jacques looks like it's the team to beat, but we know Commandment and Sinted, I don't see them on the screen right now. There they are on the screen, doing a pretty good job, but look at that loadout. It is looking a little rough right now. I don't think gas is going to do you too much in this end game.
Looks like they're going with the stairs tunneling to save some mats here. Late game champions are Commanded and Scented. Keep your eyes on them as this goes on. For the meantime, we got to tune in with Dubs and Mega. This was the squad battling for height. They were able to win the first fight, but now you can see Mega's gone. It's all up to Dubs, and he has shotguns in front of him, one to his right, able to drop down 2 levels and survive for now.
So many eliminations are going on in our elimination feed. Jay taking down Unsightly. It was Turtle Tavern that was able to take down Mega, and still 16 teams remain, 15 teams remain. So many teams are going down in these final moments right here, and now we are making it into the placement points. Symmetrical, it looks like they were able to steal height away from Jock and his teammate right there. Turtle Tavern, though, going ahead of the rest, now holding height. Symmetrical is going to have to steal that away from him, as well as Turtle Tavern.
Symmetrical, as you mentioned, the highest of any player on the map at the moment. His teammate Tavern looking to finish off the kills, and they are going to use those harpoons perfectly to bring some RPGs to the top. That's going to be helpful here in the final zone.
You love to see it. That's what you want that harpoon gun for, to grab those much needed items. And even though there is only one rocket in that RPG, that can still be a make or break situation for them. Holding the height right now. Turtle Tavern with only 1 elimination, but still doing a good job keeping vision on the low ground, taking some shots as well. Only 10 teams remain, 15 players, so that means that a good portion of these teams are solo players.
Constant spam at the top as Icy Fusion was just dropped by Commandment. Another elimination for Commandment and Scented. That is now 3 in game 3. They have the #1 spot coming in, and they are challenging again for a top 5 placement.
Commandment took down Jock, the team that I thought was going to be able to walk away in first place. I don't know if Acorn is still alive. I'm not too certain, but Scented is now down once again. Commandment, the only team alive, or the only player alive for this team. Nate Hill is right there as well. A ferocious opponent that you don't want to just drop into, but it looks like Commandment is going to be dropping down. We see Paper and Jamper still alive as well. Bank is there too.
Bank is in trouble, but Commandment surviving, and he gets into the box and walks away with another one. That was Nate Hill, who is on fire. Commandment, another top 4 guaranteed.
Commandment only 22 HP alive, getting elimination after elimination. Symmetrical taking down Paper as well. Domsky taking down Paper's teammate Jamper, though. There's only 3 teams that remaining. How Commandment is running solo alive is beyond me. He does go down to Suskrit, and now it is a 2v2 situation. Will the team that holds tight, Symmetrical Internal Tavern, walk away with the victory royale, or will they be forced to drop down into the low ground? Will this be a heal off? We're gonna find out real soon. But look at Domsky and Suskrit, 8 eliminations right now with a 15-point victory royale that can easily shoot them up into our top 4.
They were already on your top 10 list coming in, and they are looking to finish here with the big bonus. It's Domsky, it's Sus, and we are going to see them walk away with the 15-point bonus in your first place in Game 3.
That was an incredible in-game right there. Susscript having both players drop down. He said, you know what? I got this easy. I'm going to grab both eliminations and 10 eliminations total. That's going to be 25 points for this team in game number 3.
Some pretty nutty stuff there, Kelly. We got to run the numbers on all of this, but man, I have to say, like, the storylines right out the gate, craziness. Tim goes to an island, survives, but doesn't make it halfway through the game. Nadeshot and Brook AB, his competitors, out almost instantly. But then also the top dogs, 3 of our top 4 teams, all losing at least 1 player in the opening 2 minutes of that game.
I mean, we also thought the Commandment Incentive was going to go down, but there they are at the end game once again. And although they didn't make it into our top 2, we know that top 3 still makes a bunch of points and placements. And you know, it's Commandment Incentive. They walked away with a few eliminations as well.
Absolutely. The boys from the UK causing problems for our top 4 teams. You saw Mega and Dubs going for some height in the middle of that game, throwing everyone off of their gameplay. Here's a look at some of the highlights, though. This was Ronaldo and Blake, our champions from game 1. They dropped 10 eliminations in that game. Early on, they go up against Mongrel and Mitro, and well, Mongrel comes out huge with that shotgun blast.
I mean, even though they're having to deal with much more ping than the rest of our players, Mongrel and Mitro are still beasts in the competition, so it's not too surprising to see those two players do so well. But here we have Jack and Acorn closing in on EMAD right there. Of course, you can see Slacks and Illist on the distance, and Jamper and Paper. This is how crazy the action was. Even in our third, I think that was third zone right there, maybe fourth zone, there was action going on throughout the entire game, Puckett.
Bank and Duke versus Peppa and Icy Fusions. That match went so long. I believe it was like a 2-zone battle. At the very end, though, you could see how it was all shaping up. Commandment, the hero, once again, was sent it out, was able to make the run, able to tunnel, box up, survive into another top 4 finish. They didn't get the eliminations they were looking for, but they already had a ton on that leaderboard. Another top 4 finish is going to be some serious points added to their already enormous score. We're calculating all the totals. I think I know who won, but I'm going to keep it a secret in the chat. And a reminder, we have some quesadilla codes coming and a personal code I'm giving out to a winner in the chat. If you think you know who won this matchup, let me know right now. I'll be finding one of you and sending you a code through Whisper at the end of the night. Kelly,
wait, a code for what?
For delicious quesadilla. Have you heard of these? It looks like you have one in your mouth. For those who don't know what a quesadilla is, here's a look at the brand new stuff at Chipotle.
The new handcrafted quesadilla at Chipotle. It's a whole new way to adobo chicken, a whole new way to guac, and a whole new way to order. Because it's only in the app or online. The new quesadilla. It's a whole new way to Chipotle.
Pick it up on the app right now. Kelly, how do they win a quesadilla in the chat?
Well, you guys are going to have to text Holly119 to the number 888222. You can read it on the screen in case I was a little confusing right there. That's 3 8s, then 3 2s, and you text that code Holly119 right there to be able to win some quesadillas. And it's just not just one quesadilla that we're giving away. We're giving away thousands, literally thousands of quesadillas.
Literally thousands. Chat, thank you all for hanging out with us. We really appreciate all of the love in the chat, all of you spamming exclamation Chipotle to win your headsets, and of course, all of you battling for your very own quesadillas. We're giving out thousands here in 2021 with 10K going out on our opening stream. And you can get a piece of it simply by sending in a few text messages. My quesadilla is gone. It's long gone. Yours is being wrapped up there, Kelly. If you were getting another quesadilla, what would your order be? Because I know I'm swapping out the rice. I'm throwing away the black beans. I'm bringing in some more dips, some bonus guacamole.
See, you messed up. I have the guac and I have the cheese dip, but I also have the corn salsa, the green salsa, and the red salsa. I added some extras. So I had a smorgasbord. I wanted to, this is my first experience with the quesadilla. I wanted to get it a taste with every dip possible.
That is the smartest order I have ever heard. I never thought of try salsa to go with my queso dip and my guac dip.
Exactly.
Did you go sour cream? I feel like it's the only liquid missing. We'll get there next time.
No, because I have sour cream in my fridge.
Doesn't need yours. She's got her own. All right, there you have it. You guys can get your own quesadilla. Let us know, how do you customize your order? And congrats to all of our winners who have been tuning in throughout the day for your chance to pick it up. And reminder, this is just the first Chipotle Challenger Series event of the year. There will be more. So if you don't win today, don't worry. Come on back next time and get you some more food. We're calculating all of the numbers, and while we do that, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're breaking down your totals. We're announcing your winner, and we're passing out $65,000 in prizes, burritos, and more. We'll see you soon.
When you're ready for Chipotle, the Chipotle app is ready for you. Get all your favorites, fast, fresh, and with unlimited customization, so it's made exactly how you like it. With the Chipotle app, real food is ready. Order now for contactless carryout or delivery.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Chipotle Challenger Series for some guac talk because, you know, you always need a little extra. Joining me here, of course, we got Booga. And Booga, I mean, first of all, what are your thoughts on the Chipotle Series tournament?
Yeah, the Chipotle Series tournament, it's obviously awesome. I think it's cool how I was able to come out here and pair with, an athlete like Christian and just have a good time.
Yeah, so how did that go? What was your plan kind of going into game number one? And how did that kind of change throughout the series?
Yeah, so me and Christian went out there. We kind of know, we're the best players on that field. Uh Christian probably being one of the best athletes out there. We kind of just went out and dominated, and then we got to first moving. It kind of went wrong once, but that was just RNG, but it's whatever.
Well, I mean, season six obviously came out recently. There's been some changes. In fact, a patch recently, I think yesterday. So, what are your thoughts on season six and crafting now in Fortnite?
Yeah, I think it's sick. I think it's really cool how you can just go wherever, you can farm parts, you can get metal, and you can just upgrade to like a spaz. I think that's cool.
Well, we got to talk about those, some of the top teams that we got to see right now. Commandment Scented, like, what are your thoughts on them? How do you think they performed in the tournament today?
Yeah, they're good players, but they're pretty average overall. But I think they're good.
Wow. Okay. Average overall. I don't know if too many people would say that, but Booga, you yourself got 5th place in the North American East FNCS Season 5. What were your thoughts on that? How do you feel how you did in that tournament?
I did okay. I mean, I think we should have done a lot better, but it's kind of whatever.
Well, now with Season 6, how are you feeling? Are you feeling confident going into this season of the FNCS?
I mean, yeah, I haven't played too much myself. Kind of, this is like my first tournament I played this season, but if I start grinding, I think we'll win.
Well, it's the first tournament that you've played in, but yesterday you actually commentated. So, what were your thoughts on being a commentator for Fortnite?
Right? That was pretty cool. It was the first time doing that, so it was exciting, but it was different.
It's definitely different. But speaking of different, we have to talk about something a little different right now. Moving away from Fortnite and talking about Chipotle. You know, our top 4 teams are walking away with a year's supply of Chipotle. And if you were to eat Chipotle every week for a year, what's the item that you would eat?
I would probably eat hard shell tacos every day.
Oh, okay. Lots of hard shell tacos, hopefully a quesadilla here or there. But I mean, Booga, thank you so much for joining us. And is there anything else that you want to add before I let you go?
Nah, I think I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Booga, thank you for being here so much. It's been a pleasure and hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, that was our interview with Booga. Right now, we're going to be taking a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to be looking at our winners for the Chipotle Challenger Series. Be back soon.
The new handcrafted quesadilla at Chipotle. It's a whole new way to adobo chicken, a whole new way to guac, and a whole new way to order. Because it's only in the app or online. The new quesadilla. It's a whole new way to Chipotle.
All right, it's time for a bonus drop. You thought we were going to commercial. How about a quesadilla drop instead? And I'm talking 2,500 of these bad boys are going out right now. All you got to do, text Coral 864 to 888222. Kelly Link crushed it on the interview with Booga, and now we're rewarding the people who are hungry, who are staring at this monitor saying, I need a quesadilla on my way. You can get it right now with the
Puckett.
Chipotle app on your cell phone.
I really like that you said it coral, kind of like how,
Coral.
you know, like that zombie show that, oh gosh, The Walking Dead. You know, he never says Carl. He's always like
Coral.
Coral. Or, yeah, no,
Coral.
that's perfect.
Thank
But
you.
as we
I
all
grew up in
know-
Ohio.
That's for Coral Castle right there. Oh, now I'm saying it too. Oh my gosh. It's a good thing that the games are
Cool.
done because this is starting to take a nosedive indeed. But what an incredible day. 3 incredible games of Fortnite. Of course, we had some top teams competing, but in game number 3, there was a lot of shakeups in the leaderboard. So it's going to be exciting to see who exactly is going to be walking out in our top 4 spots.
I'm kind of at the edge of my seat right now because I don't know where our final 3 are. And a reminder, $65,000 in cash and prizes throughout this tournament. That's from the beginning of our qualifiers to, of course, the 30K finale you're watching right here. Big money up for grabs, and it's a huge chunk of prize money for a lot of these players competing. Shout out to Chipotle for putting it together once again, bringing all of our favorite streamers into the same lobby as we saw 100 players duke it out. But it's time now to run down the list from 50 all the way to our top spot. Kelly Link, let's take a look at the people who are in my lobby. This is the group 50 to 41. Apollo's team, Master Bob and crew, Emat and Weston, able to finish out their 41 to 44.
We definitely see a few of our influencers here, and although we do appreciate the interviews that we got with Nate Shot and Brooke, unfortunately they are going to be in our bottom 10. But look at Tim, the Tapman, and Juju, 3 points from 3 eliminations, and to me, that's a win right there.
Ooh, yeah. Unfortunately for for Nate Shot and Brooke, they're on a whole different sheet right now. We'll see if we can clean that up going into the next Challenger Series. Congrats to Juju and Tim on a top 31. Here's a look, though, at 21 to 30. Some big names like Mongrel and Mitro, who played spoiler in that game 3, finished with 9 eliminations.
Of course, you also see Bucky and Creo as Crucky here in 25th place. Mongo and Mitro, though, all the way from Europe coming out in 21st place. They should definitely still be proud of themselves because 9 eliminations is an incredible feat when you're having to deal with hundreds of ping.
And then this sheet is the most painful, 11 to 20. You were so close, but finished just outside of the top 10. No prizes for you, but you did earn some pride. Shout out to Cloud and Pledge. You see Edge in here, Slick and Elite. What another great final game 3. A lot of big names all finishing there in the double digits.
It's almost more impressive that Cloud and Pledge was able to get 13 eliminations, but no placement points whatsoever. But of course, we have to look at our top 10 and look at them right on top, beating out Suscript and Dawn, who jumped into second place in our last game right there. Of course, it's Scented and Commandment with 20 eliminations and a victory royale. They are going to be your first place team out of our Chipotle Challenger Series.
Congratulations to all of our top 10 finishers. They're walking home with some Logitech gear. They're getting themselves, though, the year supply burritos. If you're in the top 4, that's Jock, Acorns, Illis, Slack, Suscript, and Dom, joining Scented and Commandment, who already had a year, will now throw another year on it. 44 points with 20 eliminations, earning your number 1 position here in the first Chipotle Challenger Series event of 2021.
Sus and Dom, though, jumping up from second place. I don't even think they were in our top 4 after game number 2, so an incredible performance from them. Illist and Slacks, though, we saw them grab that victory royale in game number 2. And then, of course, Jock and Acorn, my team to beat in 4th place, are going to be walking away with that yearly supply of Chipotle. But everyone here in our top 10, Ron and Blake, Jamper and Paper, Colosso, D-Roller, everyone there definitely deserves to not only walk away with some prizing, whether that's Logitech, Chipotle, or the prize pool, but of course they should be proud of themselves as well.
$15,000 more in the bank for Commandment and Scented, though. And Kelly, I gotta ask you, how do you stop this team? We've had 3 Fortnite events here in the Chipotle Challenger Series. Second place, first place again.
You can't. Like, it's not just the Chipotle series, it's not just the FNCS, but it really seems like any tournament that Commandment and Scented enter, they're going to be walking away at least in the top 3, if not in first place.
Congratulations to all of our winners, and congratulations to all of the winners in the chat. We hope you guys enjoyed your quesadillas. We hope you enjoyed the show, and you tune in again as more Chipotle Challenger Series is coming your way in the future. If you haven't already, drop a follow on this channel right now and join us for upcoming action. Kelly, this was a blast. Our first time working together. Any final thoughts before we close the show?
I mean, thank you, chat, for being here, for making sure you're typing exclamation point Chipotle into chat and just letting us know who you want to watch, who you think's going to win. Without you guys, we wouldn't be doing this. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us over the last few hours.
For all of our returning champions, congratulations again. Enjoy your year supply of burritos. And one more time, let's give it up for our champions, Commandment and Scented, your Chipotle Challenger champions here for the first Fortnite event of the year. 44 points, 20 eliminations with an average placing of 2.6, including that victory royale. On behalf of Kelly Link and everyone behind the scenes, thank you for tuning in. I'm Chris Puckett, and we will catch you next time for another round of the Chipotle Challenger Series.